fine. It's fine. Relax.
Yeah, true. Only cost me like
Okay.
$200 to subscribe.
You will survive. Where's my files?
Y'all ready? 7 minutes. 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Right.
How we feeling?
Doing good? Doing good? Yeah, this is easy work. I feel good.
This is my first go rodeo live doing that.
I'll join you. Oops. Let's go out to the field. Gotta put it down. There we go.
You guys want to just go straight to the game?
Oh, what, are they gonna do the walk-ins, or they're gonna go straight to the game?
They're already up there.
They're already up there. Okay.
already up?
Let's do like a minute intro, and then after a minute intro,
Yeah.
we'll go right into
And
it.
I'll come over here. You give me a thumbs up. I'll talk about it.
Actually, just do it in like 30 seconds to a minute. Just go right to it, and we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
We can flow. I don't want to interrupt the players.
No.
I'll start vamping.
Just tell me, like, I'll just come back here, look at you, you give me a thumbs up.
I'll do the let's get them. All right. Yeah. Something like that. Perfect.
Like,
Perfect.
hey, would you tell them the TO that they're
Is ready to go? Okay. Bet. We'll keep it quick. Yeah. Chilling.
I'll run street manager for y'all too.
All right. Oh, so you're doing everything. My man's everywhere. You love to see it.
He's just texting everything.
This fist is everything to
Okay, hold on now. What are you talking about? This really big deal. Hey, I have baseball. Is not that old. I've still many more years, like 4 or 5 more years until I turn to dust.
You mean to tell me the entire time I really thought you were sitting at like maybe 29 in respect to 37?
Yeah.
You are 3 years away from actual unk status.
You know what? Thank you for saying actual unk status.
Actual
I hate
unk
that people are
status.
saying unk status for like 21, 22.
People are already calling me unk and I'm 23.
Join us. Your
I
back
don't
be
want it.
hurting.
Absolutely
Sipping
not.
spicy water, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, join the unction function. Join the unction function. Yes, that's right. That's right. You know, actually, if y'all are out there, you all are in the age group of being a college. You don't even have to be an unk like me or a young cat, supposedly like you. You know, you can join the collegiate stuff no matter what age you are, as long as you're in college. Haruto is out here. He's a really good Vega player from Street Fighter 2 and a really good Monon player in Street Fighter 6. He was doing some stuff in college and that stuff as well. So you also have to think about Minarchy, who's a Fisher college. He's hanging out there too as well. So if you have those programs, use them. There's no reason not to use those programs at all. There's like literally no reason not to use those programs. It's free money. You know what I'm saying? It's free money. Yeah, go ride? Okay. Okay. Be real. How much rent do you pay? No. People like you are blessed. $900 a month? I pay $1,400 something plus dollars. It's crazy money. For one room. What's your room? 6,500 a month. Just simply make money. Just simply make money. In this economy, just simply make money. We're all good, don't worry about it. That's why we have these programs like these players take advantage of the money that is around schools. Like I didn't do that back in the day, back whenever that was DC before controllers. I honestly think that a lot of people don't even know they have these programs. That's why we have these initiatives. That's why we have this to also do the information idea of like maybe I should go to college and see what they got. Don't waste that money. Just go sit there. Don't do nothing. You know. Oh, it's insane. Oh, yeah. Shots to the homies. I love that. Again, I've seen the players go up here. They're about to start. So we'll get there, champ. We'll get there. But that being said, again, checking these stuff with the colleges, the schools, whatever it may be. I know there's a lot of initiatives also on the Scholastic side of stuff. Shout out to Play Versus for that too as well. I think they're out here with a new combination that they've had, and they're trying to spread the good word on the Scholastic side. So there's a lot of initiatives that y'all should be doing and acting with and being a part of. Otherwise, just again, it's going to waste. Like, why would you want to waste free money? Free money! Stuff. Nothing is specialty. I'll learn on YouTube. That's good. I'll go to YouTube. that's why you know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, you're right. You know what? My first year wasn't my best year, so I was eager for the next year. It's okay, you're never supposed to finish your degree or get a degree, stuff like that's important. So, doing your programs, especially in esports. I took easy classes too, so I ain't gonna lie, I definitely taken some classes that were like, I had a journalism degree, and mine was pretty easy. It's just like, hey man, write good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
I was going to say, before that, I was this close into getting in the law. Maybe not.
Hey, I feel like that's they can't AI that all the way, can they? I think that's good, right?
True.
Well, maybe they can. Imagine Brock be doing your lawsuit.
Ooh, not gonna lie, I know a student who was a med student at UCI actually got caught cheating using AI, actually ChatGPT for one of their med tests. Don't do that, first of all. I don't need to roll up to a doctor who uses Quizlet to get their PhD here.
Imagine like they're operating you. It's just, Brock, do I cut this cord?
Or do I cut that one?
Do I cut that one?
Which is the ventricular and which is the artery here? I'm having a hard time figuring this out.
Brock's like, sorry, I can't see. You're on your own.
Yeah, have fun of this medical theory.
Imagine.
Oh, man. But one thing I can imagine is the next matchup coming up. It is Paladin versus D-Knock, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right.
It should be fairly interesting at that when you have Paladin, who does diversify at some characters. Akuma, though, has to be the most threatening, might have under their belt here.
Yeah, I think for Paladin, he's been practicing that Akuma a lot. My only fear is when you're playing Akuma, playing other characters takes away time from that character. So that means that a character that takes, like Akuma, takes a lot of work.
Right.
A lot of, that character specialist at the highest level. You have to know intricacies in, a matchup. True. Like, for example, if you're fighting Bison, you have to know when to demon flip, what types of moves are coming out from demon flip. You have to know, what to call out, the anti-airs of Bison. If he goes for crouch fears, you can call that out with a dive kick, kind of delayed a little bit. Those things matter in handling the chaos. And if you make a mistake, you die. So even more so, you have to really lock in on
Exactly.
Akuma.
Some tools that can bait and switch, some good buttons that can really pack a punch, but at the same time, low health pool, very much glass cannon. And it's sitting there like you make one wrong slip up, obviously you're going down and out. It's not going to be a fun time.
No, it's not. Not with Akuma. 9K House Smile, that's really the deciding factor for him not being the most perfect character ever in Street Fighter 6. And people say that, well, that's not enough to nerf him. I say, as a down player, it is. But honestly, I do think that it is the problem. I mean, you fight this character, you hit him twice and he dies. But getting access is hard because he has so many good tools. He has great fireballs, great buttons, things like that. It's similar a little bit to how you want to play a Shoto with Ryu. Okay. There are many differences that he has. He doesn't really have Hostile Geki to land on. His corner carry is a bit different. His damage potential is different in terms of access. You might need to use level 2 instead of using other things to get a wall pin and more damage in a corner scenario. So grinding out that character and then keeping Ryu up and then having a Cammy, which requires you to be a good pilot, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Exactly. Showed up at just as fierce, but far more brutality than one would really expect. You just have to know how to handle it, to which Paladin has been doing that almost a little too well, especially looking at his results winner mural, as well as going pretty much, what was it, World Warrior at that top placement?
Yes, that World Warrior top placement was amazing from him. You got to give him a little bit of credit too as well from like conquering on TNS9s and things like that. Doing good at TNS, I should say, but TNS9 he was at that breakout sort of opportunity. And I think as well as he talked, I think he got top 8, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, he shows out. He comes out to his locals. He practices. He's always hungry for sets. If there isn't him DMing Zapparino saying, "Hey, let's get some sets," or DMing a player.
Just like 3 in the morning, like, hey, I know you're awake.
It's in all caps,
the Discord button on, too.
It's all caps.
You're online.
It's all caps. I don't know why. He's like that. But we're out here. We're just waiting a little bit longer just to see what's going to be going on with production. I know we have Elena coming out June 5th. That's going to be exciting, too, as well. I'm skipping ahead, so like right now we're playing on this current patch, which is good. I didn't want to learn what's going on with the game moving on, to this tournament. Imagine the players. It's like 3 days before. It's like, oh, by the way, we have this new system. It's called Crash and Burn or something like that.
Oh, goodness, like, hey, we're dropping a patch before this event. Oh, my God. I remember when that trailer first came out, too, and I was waiting on Twitter like, okay, what's the date going to be?
What's the date?
Because this can either tick off or really make you Bailey happy for 2.2 seconds, and then we go from there.
Well, it did happen then. So, unfortunately, it's going to be a week and a half.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too terrible. It could be worse. At Common Breaker, it was like 3 days before. They were like, patch. Have fun. But it was kind of fun to watch that chaos and commentate that. Honestly,
that's right. You did get to commentate that. Huh?
Yeah. It was.
Oh goodness.
It was very difficult because you're like, I don't know what's actually plus and minus or the intention. Everyone's just kind of figuring it out. But it was fun to see people scramble in the few days that they had to figure things out for the matches. Like it was kind of fun to watch them be like, all right, does this button work? Does this button work?
Exactly. Does this work? Does this not work? I mean, what actually works in these scenarios? And then all of a sudden being told, yeah, have fun with this. What do you mean have fun? I need help. 3 days before, and you expect me to just sit here and watch?
You know what? But in other esports, that happens all the time.
True.
That is true. Fighting game players are pretty blessed to not have that happen so consistently. You feel like for the most part, most developers are like looking out for the tour and not trying to put it on the same week. Even if it goes into the tour, it's not going to be usually on that same week of an event. So it's good that they're looking out for that. And other games are just like, here's a patch 2 days before. Have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be worse. It could have been 1 day before, and it's like, oops, that's our bad. But we need to get this out for the rest of the player base here. D1 tournament, yeah, good luck.
Ooh, that's it's all like fighting games. They have their own particular rules and things like that. They're with the tours and stuff like that. They want to make sure there's a lot of competitive integrity as well. Sometimes it doesn't always land properly, but usually it does. Usually they're really looking out for it or making concessions if they can. So again, it's good to see these players not have to play it out this same exact week. And it's good for Capcom out here to support this. I know we're on Capcom Fighters, Esports U, if you're restreaming. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Tweet out, people know what's going on. We're getting these matches up. I know we're trying to figure out some production stuff here and there. We're in this venue that is, there's cords everywhere. I don't know what's going on. In terms of like the cords.
I was going to say, cords everywhere. Most of this stuff costs more than my tuition would in a single quarter.
This in front of me costs more than like what's in my bank account. It's more than what's. It's not a lot in my bank account in the first place.
And the $15 left in my bank account just drained right now. Absolutely not. Exactly.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! The points.
Just Capital One calling me and like the 1-800 number be like, hey, I understand you just touched something that was not yours here. We're going to have to drain you $30.
We're going to charge you for that.
Exactly.
Put you in the negative. Put you in the red. That's why like someone's like, man, they might get your card, your information. Please take my debt.
Exactly.
Please take my debt. Take my debt.
Student loans, break that out, please.
That's why it's cool, and I keep saying it's cool for this collegiate stuff, but that this is becoming a real thing. Players get to actually like have a path towards esports and understand the pitfalls and the good things that are going on. They're able to like, okay, I can be with this team now. Like if you learn early, like a lot of players that are double these kids' age right now have no idea what's going on with these teams. Or like when they sign a contract, they paying for their own jersey.
Yep.
If you go through school, you're going to have a coach and people around you saying, hey, that's actually a bad idea. Paying for your jersey, you kind of get scammed.
Yeah. Like just like at UCI, the program set up there right now. I mean, your jersey covered, scholarship up to $3,500 to $5,400 depending on which game you play for. Also dependent on rank, if I remember correctly, but it's still a good program at that. You get a coach, one-on-one coach, and you even get a licensed psychologist to help you through a lot of the stuff you go through in games.
We need that.
It is insane.
Shoot. After a rank session, Give me some help. Let me
I
sit
was
down in
gonna
that chair and be
say,
like,
with the amount of
oh.
MR that one can lose within a single sitting, and you can all go again, it shouldn't be too bad. Next game you encounter Dawson, have fun with that in the first place. It's not going to be a fun night. You need someone to talk to, obviously.
you know, I'm fine with fighting Sam. You know what character I don't like fighting?
Which one?
Dice? Geef. I don't know what it is. You could be one of the worst Geefs in the world.
He hates me
I-
bad.
It's your choice of character. I've always hated Geef. The records have shown that I've always had a problem with Geef. Every game, even 5, even Alpha,
So
Alpha
what
3.
I'm hearing is Cole a skill issue.
No, what you're hearing is everyone has a particular character. Like, for you, it's whatever character I pick.
Right.
So, got him. Got him.
See, this is why Kolova could never be a good duo in the first place.
Yeah. So, again, we're getting things going here. We're figuring things out. I think I touched the right button. I don't know which one is yours.
I was gonna say,
Mine's this one. So.
we do not want to touch the wrong button here, and then all of a sudden we're blasted all the way to like Dallas Fort Worth. But
Yeah,
that'll be a
yeah.
fun time.
That is. Again, we're getting these players figured out. We want to make sure everything is picture perfect for everybody, so they can play at their fullest abilities out here. And we have a litany of games coming up too as well. I see your notes right there.
Yeah. I wrote down a whole thing of notes because, mind you, for context, everyone that is listening out there, before the FGC, I was very much steeped into FPS. So part of that is still stuck with me.
But you're still a fighting game commentator. I've seen you
I'm aware.
commentate
Yeah,
on
I
the
know.
Mondays. If y'all didn't watch, there's a lot of logic to go back and watch some of these players. We'll get to know some of them. You know Paladin, but you also know Blue. Blue is also out here. I'm sure you run into Blue in ranked. Amazing DJ player.
Too many times here and there, it's not fun.
I've run
especially going to CK.
into. I don't know if he knows because I don't have the same name. My name is not the same. It's something a little bit different.
What is it, like Demon Pepsi or something?
No, I just can't say it on the stream because I don't want to dox myself.
Wait, I think I remember. Yeah, we cannot say that in stream.
I just don't want to dox myself, obviously. I don't want you to know, because if you run into me, I want you to be salty. I don't want you to be like nice or be like, yeah, well, I'll beat St. Cole, which doesn't really matter if you beat me. You're going to get like 5 MR from me, bro. Anyway, we'll see who gets this match. I think they are setting up and getting prepared. I see the players on both sides. So it's going to be actually Blue coming up, as we were talking about, against Hippo, moving on to a different match.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
That should be
Hippo.
interesting. Going back into my trusty notes here, if I remember correctly, these two have actually gone scrap to scrap before. It was CECC last chance qualifiers all the way back in, actually this is spring if I remember correctly.
Spring.
It was some tough stuff, and the last time that happened, Blue was the one to win that matchup.
So Blue playing DJ against, I wonder what Paladin played during that time. Obviously it's been some time that he's been able to grind it out. There's different characters. He probably won't play Cammy, I would imagine, in this matchup because Cammy is not so good against DJ. He has many ways to anti-her without having to risk too much. I like the, this is a weird matchup. And there's things that are presented here. I feel like if you're Blue, like you have a lot of anti-airs that you can utilize against like the Demon Stomp and stuff from Bison. So we see Hippo. He's just going for the his pick on the Bison. Our first match, Blue versus Hippo. Let's get it.
All right, let's get into it. One thing I do remember about Blue, though, really likes to go for those tricky, I don't want to say the wrong word here, but back feint right into it, but already drive rush feints again. Heavy buttons coming out, though.
There's the fake out, looking for a button right there. Almost got whip punish. The anti-air is there with the crouch fears. Too far from the crouching medium punch. He will get the whip punish and the back fist bomb.
And just right into the corner, trying to go for the bomb knee, but instead, side top coming out from Blue, just off rip. Trying to bait out some moves again. Back feint right in the scissors.
And that's a perfect distance to do that. You'll be avoiding a lot of things like stand fears, drive rush buttons. Speaking of drive rush buttons, this man's about to be a crash out. Level 1, that should get it done. The aggressive Sobat, I lied. The scaling on the starter. The grip will do it though. Blue with the first round.
Exactly. All we needed was one good throw to do it, and that was enough. Just a shred of negative health, 1 HP, and a dream.
When you're Bison, you don't have the best defense in the business. You have to bust up number 1. Oh, I think he tried to anti-air at crouch fears a little bit slow, so it's a more predictive sort of button to utilize.
True, already going with the air-to-air, but already with the throw, just keeping up the corner game right now. Blue really loves to do that, even with the side swap. We get caught right in a drive rush. Nasty with it. As I say that, OD scissor kicks right in the backhand from hell.
Wakes up with a crouching leg kick. Do you have a seasoning sauce? You better side switch after this, my boy. Level 2, he does it, and he gets it done. Extra oxtail.
Just, man, oxtail right now would be fire. I'm thinking about that, and back in California it would cost you $4.99, but I imagine for Blue, price tag would be $3.99, depending on how you look at it. Coming with no biscuit, but a knee bomb instead.
It's looking like $3.99, can't lie. Blue, first game with Hippo. definitely has some good ideas against the anti-air, so he just has to time it better. You saw counter it continuously. It's just the knee drop is a little too sharp to deal with that close.
Man, and off the flash hits as well. Trying to get into a 1-2 piece, trying to go for the drive rush combo. Into it, good defense coming in from Hippo though.
Working with that stand meter kick. Nice little poke with that distance. Walks back with the fireball. Switching up the pressure that he does so he's not hitting the second pressure. Back fist ender. Again, the bomb is on. Meaty back heavy kick. The explosion. Drive reversal. He waits. He baits. It's time to decimate.
Man, OD back into the corner. Double fist from hell already in blue. Trying to jab out of it. That jab pressure. Scissor kick still almost took you out. Especially off the feint. But 1-2, 1-2, 3 to hit.
You see that perfect parry continuously. Keeping up the drive gauge as much as possible. Toss. Wake up. Toss again.
Throw loop 6, my favorite game.
Crouch fierce. I mean, my man does have things he can do. Who could have busted out with the ODDP? He does get the side switch, so he did take his opportunity to leave the corner, but he can't get hit with a DI. Double the damage. Strike throw. It's a throw.
Ah! Throw loop again. Make that once. Make that twice. Damn near make it the third time, but no, going for that air.
Oh, the fake DI! But he
That's not
couldn't do it
enough
back.
life.
You can't do it back. That was a good idea, but that's the thing against really strong players. You'll do that because they'll always DI right back. He had the setup for the DI, but not the health for that transaction.
Goodness, he was right there. What was that one mean? You had the right idea, the wrong bison.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Wrong bicep. Ooh, from the center gets hit. And he's adjusting where he's standing, so that's not lane. The back way or back dash. It's really hard to get a system on. And again, as I call, you want to see that level 3. Oh, he's hard. You know, see, dummy like me was at the bar, but he knew to hold on to that bar because he was going to be able to get that chip scenario and put him in a bad position. Big bet right there, works out. Woo, we need fireball for the air slash. Jumped in with the jump fierce, OD kick, into the OD back fist, back fist. That is OD. Wake up with the OD air slicer.
Man.
Jack.
Yep, Jackknife with the grab at that one, but having to back out with the safety jab. The pressure already be getting saucy with it. Level 3 super.
Yeah, watch the drive game. Get out. Unfortunate. Might be meaty fireball right here or drive rush jab. The straight medium.
Oh no!
But he tried to go for parry right there, so that's why he worked out. Level 3, going to put himself back in business. Honestly, it's going to be a while to get that drive gauge back. I imagine Hippo kind of holds back a little bit. Just back off, just back off. He goes in for the scissor kick. He played around the expectation. You saw the counter in.
Ooh, no backing off from here, even in burnout. You want to play it risky, do so. Just walks right up at the same time. Blue gets the initiative, able to jump over one fireball, make that damn near another. Still getting dangerous with it. Drop, go there.
Careful now. All takes 1 DP. That's what I'm talking about. Dash up. Reversal.
Also OD. The wall stump, but just too far away from it. Jackknife again.
One more touch. One hit, a sneeze, a breeze. We'll kill both these cats right here. Drive impact. He throws the Kiwi, and he punishes. What a beautiful reaction. Because if he had DI back, he would have died.
Listen, Hippo, I was very unfamiliar with your game, but able to tie it 1-1 here. Of course, OD starter at that has to be one of the wildest reactions we've seen in a hot minute, especially in Collegiate.
You're on God right now. Almost made out the slide. He thought he had the punish. It's a no-go, Bozo. That's unfortunate. Side switch incoming. I've seen these DJ players use crouch fierce. There's no scaling on that, so you're going to put that in the combo as much as possible. Hell of a standing.
One thing I do love to see from Hippo, though, really readjusting to the corner pressure, especially when that blue really likes to stick to those throw loops. It's not happening as often anymore. Jackknife special, though, just right in the back throw.
It's right on a forward throw. I'm going to put him in the corner, I guess, but he is harassing that drive gauge, so careful now. All this one fireball. The anti-air is there. Double dash up again. The jab misses, but the crouching jab don't.
Man, yes. So you have to be safe about it, especially for Hippo. No, I want to say play it safe. I mean, you are in burnout, but against it, someone as aggressive as Blue might not have a choice nor a chance here. One up already on the board.
Definitely right about not having a choice or chance because the fireballs are so fast. And at that point, he's got drive rush jab to initiate, to punish. Medium, spot, the throw right after. Dash and the drive rush, the air to air. I like that jump back beta with a 2-point layup.
About to see, keep that corner game aggressive as hell. Also, I cannot think of basketball. My Lakers lost first round. Anthony Edwards, he will see the day. But besides that, already known for Jackknife pressure into the corner. Level 1.
Fireball, so took him out. The backdash. You know why we backdash here? At that point, you probably should just like sit back and block, chill out a little bit. It does give them more room to breathe. The jump heavy kick is good. Seems a lot more. Get some initiative. Like if you want to jump in, you're gonna have to like establish that ground game first. Because Blue's in that perfect range to have the charge. That's why you see him kind of down bad right there for the down back. Charging up, getting ready for an anti-air approach if need be.
Man,
We'll hit for victory.
Especially going at that crouching medium kick, just trying to keep the corner pressure again against Hippo. All it takes is one more good elbow. Blue, 2-1 here.
Sport medium kick is such a good tool. Plus, it locks you down for other buttons for the approach right after. Then in the corner, other things again, bicycle, you still have to bust out. It's a lot of bar to do that. Dang, he tried to go for that stand fierce. We talked about initiating on the ground. Already avoided. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate at that one. A couple more fireballs. Enough to do the job here. Trade out in damage and try to off the upper just in case Blue try to close the gap a little too soon.
I like that Blue doesn't go for like a lot of like air slashers. Excuse me, to anti-air from the hell attack stuff. Blue on chilling with that, letting him come down to the ground, not getting baited.
Already just going with the missile, already impact though, drive reversal. Dude, look at the fireballs and that stand medium hit.
Blue's still meter positive. The way he's building up arm, like the buttons, the fake outs, the fireballs, even after that drive reversal, very smart, knowing that if you're in burnout as DJ, it's the worst time. You are like one of the worst characters in the game. Level 1, level 2 are not good bust outs, trying to save those for damage.
Honestly, reading really in a Blue strategy right now. Really go against Hippo, not only just trying to aim for the burnout, but as I say that, wait, might have predicted it a little too soon. Commentators first, it happens, but that's enough to take out Hippo back in the corner.
You're unfortunate. Like you try to wake up with a super, but immediate fireball will take care of those non-projectile invuln supers. So I like the structure here for Blue, and it's taking him to set point. All he needs is one more to get it done.
Man, just sitting there menacingly off the footsies, just right in the drive rush at that one. Want to go for the overhead into the slack, but back feint, and they counter that.
Flex way does not commit the crouching medium punch drive rush follow-up. He has it right where he wants it. He'll take that trade. Plus range delays a little bit in the fireball level 3 right on time. This puts Hippo in burnout. So by all admission, this is Blue's game to win. There's level 1 at the bottom, but Blue might just sit back with the fireballs. He's going in.
Don't say here just yet, but Blue already in burnout. Does not even matter. Hippo put in a vulnerable position corner at that one. 3-1 here.
Beautifully done here for Blue. Structuring in the corner was clean with the fireballs. And aiming for the drive gate, obviously a very important thing of this meta, is the way to go. So I do believe we're going to be having an interview, and that means I'll be right back.
Okay.
Shout out to our interviewer out here. Big love, big love. We're getting going real soon here, but that's Blue. And that is a person who is super happy to be out here and playing in the offline sort of environment. It's different than the online grind. You know, a lot of players, they don't get a chance to play as much in terms of coming out to events in person, whether it be regionals, locals, whatever it may be. Any opportunity is great.
Oh, Blue. When DJ plays, then I'm actually terrified to run in the rank again. That was not a fun time my first time, because I look at the name, I'm like, wait, ain't this the same dude that was in our CC last year's qualifier? Yes, it was. Unfortunate for me, but Blue got free NR. So you know what? Win's a win for Blue.
A win is a win for Blue. And don't get it confused, Blue Blazer, is like the Canadian elite. Both great players. But Blue, again, as you mentioned during the interview, very, very confident in DJ.
Right.
Where other people kind of left that character to the side. He doesn't really have a lot of bad matchups. I don't think DJ, comparatively to other characters, has a lot of bad matchups. The system mechanics can hinder him a little bit by him being in burnout, which can be very difficult for him to operate, which can happen. Like, you don't get to control your drive gauge. People take away your drive gauge. What you expend matters. A lot of it's going to be different, contingent on what happens in the match, but he's able to go for that poke-based style and move on in the bracket. So are we. Again, this is for seeding. This is for basically you want to have a better spot tomorrow.
Right.
And again, this is also for the ability to see what other people are doing.
Exactly. This is like the download day, if you will, to just see what everyone's working with, what characters you might have to run into maybe for tomorrow, and then going into day 2, that's where things get a little tricky, I don't want to say terrifying, but it is fairly going to be.
Oh, no, terrifying is absolutely the word. I mean, think about it like this, on some real stuff,
Right.
You probably play at your locals or you play at your school and you've beaten all of them. This is 23 story, actually. He just watched the competition out there, not saying his team weak, but he cooked them up. But now you got to fight people who are outside of that. Maybe people you've never played, or you've played but in a different sort of environment. It's easy to play somebody on ranked. Everyone's beat a high-level player on rank before at some point. Because they're like, look at the chat, like, yo, thank you for the dono, nose picker 33 or something like that. They're not locked in.
Exactly.
But when you play someone in tournament, that's a different person. Punk playing in tournament, like when you actually locked in, is way different. Same with Luke, same with the Pink DS Lite. Shout out to the Pink DS Lite, saw him at Genesis doing work.
Yep.
And Luke been out here in a Midwest sort of thing. I think one of the first tournaments he was at was, it was a Midwest movement tournament, I believe. Was amazing out there. But look at him now, playing JP, leaving the character even when the nerfs had hit. Still stuck with the character and took up the competition. Now well rewarded. That's $1 million character right there.
True, don't
you
forget
feel me?
though, Pink DS Lite featured in Flightless Fight Series. That was not an easy night. It was Collegiate. Remember, Avian and I worked that and dang near tore through most of the bracket. We're talking about going against heavy hitters like Angela Hokage, maybe Chris CCH, and I'm like, okay, these aren't easy matchups. I look at the name, I'm like, wait, same dude is SJSU. And it was Pink DS Lite, but still a fire player to watch. Kimberly player at that.
Yes. You know, they're very wild. They might sit there and say they're random and things like that, but he's not at all. It's very
calculated.
But it's just chaotic calculation. You know, I think when you look at Kimberly players that have success, you have to have a little bit of wild, not wild, and Psycho.
True.
My boy. You gotta look at the likes of Shine. Every so often, they'll run that neutral game or a surprise slide or drive a medium kick, or even say a medium kick, things like that you don't expect the timing to as well. And then they put the mix on you. You get in the corner, pop you up with your hand to land. Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen right here. The DI right back at him, take him to the corner. Look at this. She's also pre-built to take him to the corner pretty quickly without marks. Right there on the slide.
But already both in burnout getting a little dangerous, and that slide just goes so well, especially against JP offense. She's trying to keep the gap as far as possible, but still close enough to take you down. That's one already over Luke has Page.
Gotta give Luke credit to have level 3 already. Maybe he got his butt beat a little too much for that to happen too as well. But he got level 3 in that round, calculated the chip just enough, but now he's with that bar at the bottom. Nice and meaty, heavy kick the slide, the can. You're chilling.
Already just fine, but with the punish counter at that one, reversal. This was just, but dry brush gonna be enough. Pink DS Lite building up that meter, but already with more cans at that, but like loose.
At this point, I think level 3 would have been fine right there if they would have convinced level 3 would have killed. But one more interaction, Luke would have been a burnout. Now it's a side switch. This could all go astray. Plus on the heavy crystal slash at the very tip. Low ghost blocked out, can't flip out, but that's a punish. The stand medium kick allows that to happen because he had light. It's a stand medium kick, the punish counter, perfectly done. The elbow drop.
And I was just about to say, Luke SFH coming in here, calculated with the JP. Dangerous JP at that one. Really likes to get the pressure side swap, especially off the amnesia like we did see earlier, but still Pink DS Light able to jab a pressure way just out the corner in the first place. But against the Crystal Spears, want to watch out for Departure here.
That's the difficult thing is Departure will lock you down. You're not really afraid of Departure rather than other things that come without it, but able to stave that off, get the level 3 on. There's never a bad time to put level 3 on the board because you get that powerful speed and damage. And look at this big lead drive gauge. It helped as well. And you get immediately on wake up.
You should watch out for the Spears again, but that's going to be thrown just back into the corner. Keep up the pressure, especially with trick off Departure back up in the corner. Have to be calculated with how you run this, especially with Cypher Star active.
That jump back meter kick. We saw Luke talking about that yesterday, how he likes to use that as a contingent tool to jump back with. OD Departure. The anti-air is there. You see the cane spin. You know he's going to go for the teleport. To call that one out perfectly was fantastic.
And with the air throw at that one, but already in burnout. Luke getting a little dangerous. I think can say the same for Pink DS Light, keeping up the ruthless John Cena style aggression. But where there's one super, there is another here. Now with the chip pressure.
Oh, this is bad. Here's Departure. Crystal Slash. Level 1. No, Spears. Okay, go for me to level 1. Yeah, they got bar. They've got green cage back. They're both in the green. He's going to be in the red.
Yeah, but look at the health. You got to be careful with this. And that's going to be just the crouch hit to do you in. Luke SFH, read from long way. 1-0 so far.
Talk about how any character that has like a slide or a way to get against fireballs with the fastness, quick drive rush, or like a way to change up like the jump arc. It's hard for JP to run the zone game like he'd like to.
But counter reversal at that one, get the Crystal Spears. You hit at that OD. Tried it off the back hit, but not gonna be enough. Pink DS Light trying to keep the pressure up at that back throw. And these are the hit.
Side switch here, crouching light kick. Oh, caught him trying to leave. Stand Fierce to Departure. Again, looking for the lockdown. Plus on whiff. Gets the counter hit to pick up here. Stand Fierce to Departure. Looping pressure for defense. It's so good to bait on the drive reversal. Are you kidding me? You kind of nasty with it, Luke.
Man, Departure loop and the OD Departure at that one. Get the Crystal Spears up and active enough to put Pink DS Light into burn out. But Crouch Light with the hit.
That could have been a little more like light, and the same medium, not sure. Back row, no. Level 1, right through the good knowledge right here for Pink DS Light. Understanding the matchup to a T.
And enough to loop in burnout at that one. Not enough to build up meter, but has just the pressure with this super and still enough to break through.
Had to do that bust out. At that point, you know, Pink had far, good for the DI, if need be, level 1. Definitely a way to get it done right there, drive reversal. Luke has been going for quite a few of those. He's jumped in with the jump medium kick.
Exactly, KD just got it at 4. Wonder what's JP's par, maybe under or over here, but that's a question for another day. But Pink Light really answered with the crouch, especially on the slide hits, but that reversal, throw again.
Back throw, resets the pressure with the back throw, put him in the corner. That has been a hard place for Pink Light to leave, and gonna go for the DI. What's gonna happen with the amnesia? It does another DI right back, eliminate that.
Just break through the amnesia, does not matter any time, day, or effort here. Big Yes Light though gets caught, another amnesia, and Luke trying to go for that air down hit, but actually just right to the cane.
Yeah, double kind of hit right there, blocks up the T. Didn't. Yeah, you gotta kind of hold back on that. The stand fierce to the fireball when you gotta be careful about the DIing in the middle. Sometimes you use the stand fierce as a bait and kind of wait and see what they're gonna do. You did drive rush DI. You are a demon. You really flew out here to drive rush DI, but you different for that one. And now the drive gauge is going.
Man, off start at that one, but we're already going straight into some good heaping help of interdiction off the super hard as that. Pink is like vulnerable position. You got 1 goes, 2 goes, 2 stacks of Departure just coming right at you from cross screen.
That was a beautiful interruption, could have a little more, but just slight back walk, gets it back, heavy kick, forward heavy kick to whip punch to arc step. That's 2 games here for Luke, and Pink isn't doing bad. It's just the closeout opportunities. He busts out opportunities here from Luke every so often with some wild, not mild sort of things you expect from Kimberly. Are happy for the JP. We saw drive rush DI, like, what do you mean?
Exactly, we saw some of the light loops and the light medium, and then after the fact, it was just Luke SFH, I don't want to say all day, but really getting in good reads off the Departure, and then it's the amnesia that is throwing you through a loop here.
Being knocked down with, like, the cans to eliminate that from the ground, you know, threat from the ground. So that might be something that Pink does if they can find the right knockdown. Getting there has been problematic. It's a road less traveled right now as Pink is stopped Full screen. Slide. Careful now. Block it out.
Especially that really gets a little dangerous looking in front of you. It's like, that's some big stalagmites I gotta warn you about coming cross screen. But at the same time, Amnesia just right into the throw again. Get that side swap. Put some pressure against Pink DS Light, especially. But that's gonna be perfect parry. With this one throw, there is another forward.
Fierce, try reversal, get some OD run up. Didn't want none of that. A lot of her run pressure is hella real right now. So preventative health, elbow drop will hit. A blessing from above. That corner pressure, level 3, no, just extend the level 2 right there. I like that. Stop it a little bit early because you know you're not going to get level 3, level 2. Good to go.
True, level 2 is still going to be enough to get the kill here for Pink DS Light, and now tied 1-1, but Luke, actually, excuse me, 1 up. But for Luke right now, just up 2, also still a ways to go.
Back medium this time, so you can try to jump out, maybe think it was a throw. Got clipped, now get hit with a crouching medium punch. Curveball, Pierce, departure, the long one. You'll do the longer one, I think, when characters have longer things like this, like teleports, drive rushes, but the timing of the teleport was perfect.
And perfect at that one, just build all the way back to the corner where Luke, I don't want to say doesn't excel well being in corner pressure, especially with the can on knockdown, but just trying to find a punch to just get out any way, shape, or form. Not going to be enough for Big DS Light. Gets up the Amnesia, and that's going to be back throw.
And Pierce, departure. Doesn't want closer to kind of keep Pink out a little bit. Level 2 on the Stand Pierce activation. Nice grab. Looking for the DI, was definitely an attempt right there. Drive reversal. Far side so good. Amnesia, it does the wrong one. That one did not have any OD. The reset embraced me.
Just embrace in Psycho Power, which I imagine for Pink DS Light not liking too much of, especially up against the crystals. Tried that crouch medium kick, but Amnesia not again though. That's going to be 2-1 right now.
The timing for that is kind of difficult because like the elbow drop could be like kind of TK a little bit. Right above the head, we saw a little bit of a shorter one. Usually Pink goes like the highest height and then drops the bow. But that time, closer to the head, it's harder for Luke to get the Amnesia timing properly. A game on the board here for Pink. They ain't done.
Man, also good, but getting a little dangerous, especially off the disrespectful sliding coming in from Pink DS Light.
That was a good whip punish. Again for that Stand Pierce for that distance. Now we'll get the corner carry.
Already aiming the rush back into the corner. Get that throw again. Keep the pressure up as best as possible here, but tried the DI. Not going to work out in your favor for Luke.
Combo, slide. The candle end. Should be able to get the pop up. Yes, sir. He's going to drop. One more mix after this. It's going to be heavy kick. Nice and meaty with it. No drive impact that committed to the run.
And still enough armor to break through. Now that's the side swap. We like to see the OD departure double stack on that, but not going to be enough. So far, Pink DS Light, 1-up possibility to tie this 2-2.
They might have to apply more with some buttons. I think departure has been, Amnesia has been the biggest thing here for Luke for defense. What they might have to apply with like the crouching light punch with the 4 frame. Right now it's level 3 incoming, and they're in the corner with Pink with a huge lead right now. It ain't light, it's huge.
I was about to say, just cranking the MF Doom right now. Possibly maybe another couple albums on the cassette tape. Wouldn't be surprised, but pinging off the demons at that. Try to strip on, but not enough. Pink DS Light able to slide in. Cypher Star still active.
Meaty. Very meaty. Oh my God, boom off the bone.
I'm gonna say, we're talking steak, we're talking sirloin, especially here in Texas. So that is disrespectful.
This is the amount of pressure we see from Pink. I think they recognize that Luke isn't going for the Amnesia as much, and it's just running their game. We saw some stagger steps from Pink every so often, like stagger Stand Pierce, or dash in for another throw. This time, Pink goes in with the pressure with the overheads immediately and secures a victory. 2-2, final game.
Man, good punish at that one. Pink DS Light takes the opportunity back up in the corner, but Jump In still has to opt for the throw instead. Amnesia, like we did talk about, the back throw that Luke really likes to utilize here, especially off the crystal. Departure's still gonna hit.
And Pierce, departure to pick up off of this. OD, drive reversal is very clutch right there. Had he faded it out though, it would have been very, very bad. That drive gauge. Punish.
Right, how damage and already just crouch hits. Goes, but feints it out instead.
Could have been better on the pressure media punch punish, but you know what? They got the lead. Luke with the OD departure locking down. So put out a Pierce to interrupt. There we go. Stand Pierce into the OD to finish the job. Set point for Luke.
Set point, and of course this might be day 1, but depending on how this game goes, obviously you want to put yourself in a better spot. So for Pink DS Light, getting a little scary.
Imperative. It's imperative, right? Teleport the air right there, gets it with the Stand Pierce, OD, departure, blocking down the drive rush right after the second one hits, the throw right after it, Meaty Pierce. Careful now, one more solid touch, Go for level 2 here.
You're in a burnout state, but of course, Pinky is like just dang near. They're already a little low on health, but back in burnout. I might have just cursed it too soon. Tried the super, but not enough to break through. That's Luke with a perfect round in 3-2 here.
That was sick for Luke to kind of go back and be like, you know what? I don't want to go for like level 3. I don't want to try to find a confirmed level 3. I'm going to burn you out, put you in a bad position. Now listen, Luke moves on again with a win under his belt. This is all first seeding, so we could be seeing a different sort of pick. But it went down to the wire. A lot of good corner pressure and things like that. So that was fantastic. Again, this is like a teaser, an appetizer, a filling appetizer. No Applebee's until we get to tomorrow's matches of the group stages. So we get to see some of these players play it out. And I'm going to go play out this interview real quick and ask an ignorant question. I got some a little bit on the ignorant side. You know me, we got to play good cop, bad cop with my boy, with the homie, the interviewer. So we're going to send it over to them real quick, real soon here, so we can talk to the player and say, yo, why'd you do what you did?
Exactly. What happened here?
What happened?
What's the
What
reason?
happened here? What happened? All right. I think I'm going to leave and go interview. I think we're going to interview. Yes. All right. I'll be right back.
Good luck.
Mix. We're going to get more mix. You heard it here first. I asked Luke. He said, I promise you more mix. So we see more mix tomorrow, depending on how well he does. You know, it depends on how much will be going on. But we have more matches going on real soon here. Ashley joining us real quick. But regardless, hey, the match has been really good. It's good to see that variety. See Kimberly out here, that character that people said was not so good. Was good before, even before the patch had hit the character. We already saw like the Psycho and Shine doing work with the character, and even more so now. Stan Fierce got buffed. She got a better with her lighter crouching buttons. A good character. And that mix is still potent. So had Pink won, I would have asked also if he had mix 2 ready for the next day. So lock into that. We're going to be locking into some more action, some more matches real soon here. Thank you for joining us on the Capcom stream, as well as Esports Ustream, to tweet it out. People know what's going on, especially if you're in the collegiate scene. Pull up, you know, let's talk. Use the money that your school has to further your education and further your standing in esports the right way. All right, so looks like we have Blue and Harms. We already saw Blue up here, you know, he on the DJ play, the honest poking, honest drive rush character that he has. But we're also with Harms. You're always in harm's way. A man like him piloting Honda. So that's going to be a difficult matchup on paper, but Harms, I feel like, has had a little bit of help by playing multiple people at offline tournaments, grinding things out too as well in the online scene. He's a very studious player. He's also a pianist. And it's kind of crazy that someone with such finger dexterity when he's playing Honda, and not as maybe more technical character with combos, in this game at least with Honda. But you know, that's the way it goes. He's definitely waiting for some other characters, but Honda is his main today. He's been dabbling with other characters a little bit, but he has scooted on back. Man with hands at his Honda. So again, I'm talking about variety. I wasn't lying. I think this could be a button check here. So you see Blue, and I don't think Blue is button check. All right, it's button check. Okay, Definitely button check. Yeah, because Blue don't play no Ryu. All he knows is Sauce and Season. He doesn't know Mr. Vanilla at all. He doesn't know that guy. He doesn't know what Ryu does. All he knows is hit that level 2. You should all give Blue some credit too. Hitting that level 2. You know, if you got rhythm like that, get a seat at my table. Again, this match is going to be difficult because you have to think about how to come through in the aerial approach, and there's so many different anti-airs that DJ has that can stop the butt slams from happening, the fireballs prevent the headbutts, so you have to be very methodical in this match as a Honda player. I think as Honda, just in general, high level, you have to be very methodical in the first place. You can't play very ignorant. They kind of push Honda to be more of a footsie-based character. You're more rewarded to play a solid wall. Stand medium, headbutts every so often, things like that. You have to have your economy of headbutts and butt slams a bit more economical. But when that does work, it jumps up the damage. So Honda, you don't really feel sorry for him all the time. When you have to fight someone like Harms, I regularly fight the likes of Tong. Unfortunately, that is a pain in the butt fighting him. And the few Hondas that are left, you know, like Ultra David too as well, plays modern. They're really solid. They're really fundamentally sound at this point. So we'll see what happens in this match. Again, cannot take the skies. The punch going to be hard. What's up, Ash? What up, what up? You did not miss a single second of matches.
Okay,
yeah.
Good to hear.
Yes, Blue and Harms is what's next. I saw Blue take that W, and we'll be going up against Mr. Harms.
Ooh, so the Honda player is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. What was your take about Honda?
Honda top tier, GG's easy, takes the whole thing.
You know, the Honda core, mad as hell at you. The Sumo core, probably mad as hell at you. Saying the character top tier. Saying this character who is regularly on the bottom list is top tier. But you know what? Why do you think the character's strong? I'll jump with you. I'll walk with you.
All right.
Why do you think he's strong?
Trying to think about it. So, in the hands of Harms, right? If
Yes.
I remember correctly, is really nasty, especially being able to bait you in. What was it? Sumo butt slam for
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
You want
He
a guy
is-
to get around?
Exactly. Heavy set, especially going to like, what was it? Flying sumo headbutt at that, and then trying to pressure out with like crouching.
Yes, yes. And the stand medium that he uses too as well.
True.
That's like Honda's best button, the stand medium punch. You're probably going to see it 95% of the time to set up other stuff, and confirm the other stuff. He's really good about using it. So they're going to be getting going, giving the thumbs up like the Street Fighter 5 early tight beat. But we'll see Wheat's defeat. This man with the hands, Honda, Harms. It's a season 1. That is Blue.
Okay, so this should be a fun one at that one. So when it comes to the Honda versus DJ matchup, Cola, you're the more knowledgeable person here. What can you tell me about that?
You know, I was talking about this before. I think it's difficult for Honda because he can't really get it on the ground because of the fireballs. And the buttons like stand medium kick like that is a good poke tool. And if you try to butt slam, DJ's DP is so good about covering so much range. Even the OD fireball, like before you can even get out with the butt slam, the fireball's there to knock you down. So on paper, it's not very good. So Harms has to really pick his shots. Like, look at that. Tried to go in with the headbutt. The medium spot was there to meet him. Oh, and the trade!
Man, and then really thinking about it, Blue also, really loves to go for that anti-air action, especially off the jackknife medium press. It's not fun to really encounter, but at the same time, it's that perfect parry, just right in the hand, stop some hell, right in the dive.
Driver hella medium, driver stand medium, hella plus. There's the storm, ball parade, drive reversal. Blue a little better off right here, but trying to advance against his drive gauge back. It's Harms that does instead.
Man, that back quarter pressure that Harms is really known for, and even with burnout still going to be enough, especially off the crouching light kick against Blue.
First round to Harms. He played that methodically. You have to kind of take some hits here and there. You know, the pokes here and there from Blue is what it is, right? If you get in, you can definitely get the damage, if not dump out more. Doing the job of holding the wall, as I say that he's with the heavy kick.
And especially Blue likes to close the gap, but even more so Harms does also the flying super headbutt that I didn't mention earlier, but still, that was super, not enough of the bounce.
Look at that Ludicrous. Get back!
Oh gosh, I haven't heard the name Ludicrous since
Were you
2005.
even alive during that time?
I was born 01, don't play with me.
If that's any better. I'm the unction here. Oh, OD. Drive reversal against the plus frame Sun Mario. You don't have to hold that real strike though. The crouching like it opens him up, the butt slam lands. OD palm parade, no command grab. Surprise, but this is fine because you keep the pressure on as much as possible.
And even risking the burnout, but up against Blue, still has plenty of meter left to go. And even with the back feint, tried it again, tried it once, twice, and still going for that throw. Now Harms is finding himself in a vulnerable position here.
Yeah, that's so good. He has to go for the claps right there. As he blocks, he can get the drive gauge back, but that's what you clap to whip punish Harms.
You know what?
You always in Harm's way. When Harms is on the stick.
If it works for Harms, it works for Harms.
This man, I think he tried to get predictive and deal with a close range fireball. It just worked out. But the fact that he got the combo right after that at least means that he was ready no matter what was going to occur. That was sick. With punish round start, has to drive rush to realign. Did get the follow up fine, but that's okay. He starts off better.
House hands up and even able to jump over the fireballs here. Down chop heavy right into it without sumo butt slam.
DP lets it rip. No drive rush, doesn't want to use too much bar. Let Harms be in burnout. That was a miss something. I don't know what that was. But this doesn't matter. You know, you got him in burnout. It's your game to win. Sunset Wheel, Soul Bot, should be coming through eventually. Also gets pushed out. These fireballs keep them nice and close.
I mean, especially just one more chip. I mean, Harms just put in bad position. I say that though. That's going to be the wall stun. Another loop here for Blue, especially off the drive. Impact hits. And still into the super.
I'm coming to the level 2 here. Just make sure the job done. That's one right there on the board. At least in terms of rounds to take him down. Spin that bar. I think if you're DJ, you have to be like, okay, I might have to spin that bar. I might not always get level 3. Whatever it takes to kill. Harms already showed you how strong he is. Whatever it takes.
Man, Odie Jackknife back in the air at that coming in from Blue right now, but Harms, the hands up, just trying to get the charge up.
Counter on the stand medium. Hands follow up. Butt slam, nice and close. Break up with the stand pierce. Force hit the drive reversal. That could be a win here for Harms. Put him in burnout.
I mean, True Blue had to hit the reversal, get out of the pressure, but already into the DI, right into the throw at that one, the overhead, getting saucy with it.
Yeah, of course, he's real dangerous with it. Target combo into death. Blue, putting a game on the board, evening things out, equaling things out. I mean, he is our second seed, and also another top pick for a lot of people, so if Harms takes him down, that would be kind of an upset a little bit. Butt slam will land, does not. Kind of threw the fireballs too airlessly right there. Looking for a fake and the normal fireball. Got red.
I mean, True just trying to go for the happy instead. Blue gonna respond in turn with the machine gun punches overhead, trying to back feint at that too, but instead opting for the throw.
Driver scratch. Hell of plus range right there. Go for the anti-air, jump back, get some ground, the fake out. Yeah, now more of these fake outs here for Blue. Doesn't want to throw too many fireballs out, so a butt slam lands. Dangerous, he can block in time. The trade. Oh, the jab was the DI.
No.
That was so smart to use the heavy one, so the DI right back. There we go, Blue.
And at Jackknife Ender, and already Blue this close to possible, putting it at 2-1, take away with the momentum, but Harms, no better. I mean, this is someone who's gone toe-to-toe with Follow Your Dreams on our nastier Zangief players at that one way back when, and somehow still managed to survive, but barely.
I mean, his first introduction, at least my first introduction to him, was fighting Idom. Uh-oh, but no, oh, he didn't cancel outside of the parry. Where's the stand fierce, crouch fierce, anything, boom. Give him damage, and this time the DI works out.
And still gonna be enough for to just try and break through here. Love to see that move into the butt slam, try to back feint again, but Blue still at least trying something, anything, feint out some pressure that Harms is really known for here, try to down elbow.
100% you kick in the level 2 to work there. Either way, light, knocking the door. Hands is the turn, walk up, crouching, medium punch. Let him back throw a low. Harms blocking it all out, but the drive gauge not looking so good. Holding parry, perfect parry from Blue. And that was a light one too as well. He caught him nice and close.
Exactly, got it this time, but still just gonna burn out already straight into that keeper, gets saucy with it. Gonna be the level 3 option this time.
The massage on the muscle. And that is Blue taking the W, even with the scaling, and not the bad Blue.
Ooh, okay, I had to sit there and breathe for a little bit because I was like, okay, do we have to play our favorite game of Will It Kill? And then I look at the screen, I'm like, okay, that's gotta be guaranteed.
You know, when it comes to parrying, like the skill that happens and what happens into that, sometimes it won't. We've seen it happen in tournaments, but that time, just enough that W Blue. Now up 2 games. It's a reverse fortune right now.
Man, what do you OD into that move? Like to see again with the butt slam, but with the hand arms already. One will make that twice into the slam hard. Unearned, but still with the reversal Blue. Going to keep the corner pressure out.
The turn, the space trap, the stand fierce right after that. It's a minus of the crouch fierce, and most people want to take the turn back that distance. And Harms set himself up for success to put this man to rest. Up around, staving off set point, game point as well. It's not over.
Hands left. At that one, we're just gonna go into the butt slam again, jump right over. And of course, with the charge up with that Blue, able to get back up and ground and skate, but still Jackknife back in the corner.
Jump gears, headbutt cross up works out here. Baits out the ODP for free. Heavy kick OD palm parade. Go for a shoot right. Yeah, okay, I like that. Close to killing, kills him with drive gauge. He took his turn. He said, "This is mine."
It's mine. That's mine here. And Harms staying alive at least day 1, 2-2 so far.
All right. We got final game between the two. We'll see what happens here. Empty jump throw. Yeah, tap parry definitely, I think what you got to do is Honda. You don't have to charge up the headbutt. He knew to call it out, gets the back throw, switch positions.
Mutually able to break out of it at that one, break out of it indeed, but so that again. Just yet here from Blue, tried the OD, but instead gets back thrown himself.
Stand Pierce, the double one, the double. No prize.
Man, no fries included. That's
No
gotta be
fries.
messed up. Not even a frosty.
See how much damage I did? Too many calories.
That's understandable. I mean, listen, you gotta cut down, but in this situation, you gotta bulk up as best as possible. Maybe not with the
Boom!
burnout, but we have plenty of armor to chip through. Enough for Blue.
I don't even know what that sweep was about. They tried to get the knockdown. See, I was there either way. Hits him with the super to send him off. And set point here for Blue.
Set point so far, but also have to remind us it's only day one, but you can still get the momentum off of one win. Able to jump over the grab. And for Harms right now, so side swap, but he's gonna double down off the pressure. That's the OD though.
Yeah, see if he drops here for Blue every so often. He had the crouch wrist. He went for the full conversion right there. That's hella minus, but no punish here from Harms. Surprising. We'll try to catch him off guard.
And the carry stand medium, trying to get with the fireballs at that. Close the gap as best as possible. Hand slap once, twice to break it up.
Slice leaks medium, try to keep him out. Tries to retreat. You have that same medium, crouching medium punch. Try to catch him. In between the gap, hit the ODDP. Blue willing to spend that bar. He's got a lot of green gauge to go.
Ooh,
Mountain Man splash.
That body press, hand slaps, already 1,000 pieces, no biscuit included. And against Blue Harms, and risk a super art, but still, actually, excuse me, not even super, but the burnout. Now it's getting risky.
One kick. Sway play. Plus. Hella plus.
Back
Back
roll.
throw. He with the DI. He's going to go for it. You got to be careful of level 3. Just level 1. Oh, he
no.
thought he hit.
Tried
He
to
thought he
push
got
and
the hit.
Blue just enough to be able to sneak in here. 7-hit piece. And already win this 3-2.
That is painful. That's happened multiple times. We thought he got the hit, goes into something that's unfortunate. Either ends his turn 2- or super like that, and it puts him in the ground. There's a lot of nerves out here. You're on the stage. You're just blasting from every which way. People behind you cheering
I was about
for
to
you or
say,
against you.
going to like a Street Fighter fan, you do not expect this, especially for Collegiate here.
Man, Ludo, dominant, you know what I'm saying? And that's, again, a matchup hard for Honda working. He knew the matchup he wanted to do, and got his victory. Again, group stage play, that's how it's going to go. Be different, might be seeing a different harm, especially if you're making drops like this happen. Tomorrow you might be like, okay, I know how to correct it.
Exactly.
I got it. He's like,
I've
all right,
readjusted myself.
I
I
understand
should
it.
be fine moving into day 3 if you make day 3.
Yeah, if.
If.
We'll see. There's a lot of killers out here, no
Exactly.
filler, and we'll see what happens. What I'm gonna do is go see Blue and talk to him and tell him his character's cheap.
Wow.
right back.
but not going to work out at least this time. He tried a second, no, instead going in for the impact and the throw.
Calls out the tap parry. And I don't think we've seen many tap parry attempts here for Prime. And the one time they try to do it, they get tossed. A peak of a game and a round, you can tell they're definitely in tune with how to fight Bison. And that's what I was looking for. How are you dealing with Scissor Kick? It's hard for him to punish, preventative measure. Take the skies, hit the elbow drop, get the punish counter, put him in the corner.
Back into the corner at that one with punish, and now we really get fierce with it, especially coming in from Pink. Just like keep up the loops, right into the super.
I'd maybe like to see Prime reversal from Prime, something at some point, kind of slow the damage, getting opened up every so often. It's one more touch. I think if it's a punish counter, you'll die. Got your medium kick, bomb applied, can't drive rush. He burned himself out. You have enough bar.
Not enough bars, really just a hit quick, and now find yourself in burnout, passing against the corner. You found yourself in the first place in Pink DS Light. So far, the past couple of matches already 2-0 here.
Yeah. Not a lot of bust opportunities here for Prime. The air-to-air is right there. It's kind of a swing-saw sort of match. It's whoever gets started, generally speaking, is the one that takes it. For Bison, get the knockback, go to town with the bomb. But when you're Kim, things like this happen. You get the looping pressure. You have to go for drive reversal, make that out. Prepare, get thrown. If you don't do it right, the hack throw.
There we go. Now some pressure applied coming in from Prime. As I say that, even with the sides up, we have the slide and Pink DS Light really likes to utilize here. And then step back. He's trying to go for the shimmy game. That anti-air though.
That crouch fierce runs underneath it. Should be defeat. But if you spin a bar here at the bottom, your third level one to get it done. And set point here for Pink.
Already, not gonna lie, as fast and back and forth as most of these matches have been. This is going by frighteningly fast here.
Yes. Too quick. What's got here?
Exactly. I gotta ask, how is Prime gonna actually better respond to this? Let's be real.
I mean, at this point, really, what Prime is doing right now is good. You have to arrive at the bomb. That's your win condition. It's hard to run neutral with this character. We'll get the pop up here. Keep on the pressure. All she can really do is wake up level 2, but that's not the fastest. I think it's like 10 frames or something like that. Drive reversal, that's fine. It's still a win. You made them waste bar, but this is not so good. Bag him on strike throw, mixed throw.
Say build some of that bar back up, especially now they having critical art on board, but even then, drive impact already into the slide. Get that knockdown with the can. Just try your best. Not going to be enough. Prime though still taking too much chip damage, real damage at that. Already into the level 3 Ninja Cypher Star.
It's over and done. It's a big game right here for Pink. Disconnected the controller. It's like, all right. But honestly, like, look at what Prime should have did. It sounds easy to say, but more perfect parry attempts would have been good right there. You see a lot of these scenarios. Make Pink switch up the pressure up in the corner. A bar A crouching light punch. You're going to have to press some buttons every so often with 4 frame. Delay some normals every so often before a back throw attempt, things like that. I feel like they were kind of holding it and kind of getting opened up in the lows. Felt like there weren't a lot of counter hits that much or punish counters in general. So that means they probably weren't pressing a lot or doing a lot. So I'm about to do the most to ask Pink some questions here in just a second. So hold it down for me. We'll send it over to the interviewer. Be right back.
Own opinion. Bruh, alright, so they get to talk to you after you fought Luke. Were you you were kind of that last round, you One more question. I got one more question for you. DS Lite. Where is it?
You think, man?
Oh, man, I respect it. I love it, bro. Bravo. All right, we're going to take it back to that. That was a vicious match. I don't ever want to fight Kimberly. I will never fight Kimberly.
Kim, very dangerous character. Don't want the down players to deceive you. Yes, she still has her faults, but her offense is even better. We saw that with Pink. As you heard, Pink is very well in tune with some of his emotions and like hadn't been really doing well up to this point. They got buffed up. Shouts to Guildhouse and they homies out there. Pink has been grinding in the offline, tournament scene in the regional area and has taken that energy out here. So he's doing work. He's going to be trying to move on, be the better spot for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was about to say, Guildhouse, especially coming in from Northern California, is a wildly different animal than what Southern California is in regards to Street Fighter 6 FGC in general. I look there and I'm like, are y'all okay? What's going on here? Y'all got some like top players in the world. It's brutal. You go to a weekly and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm fighting who? They already qualified for Capcom stuff?
They're out at Capcom Cup. They're going to the LCQ or they're winning like big tournaments and things like that. They're doing well at TNSs and Canopers and stuff like that. But again, you put the time, you put in the grind, you stay fine out here. That's what we're seeing out here from a lot of these players that have done so. I feel like the more consistent ones, like Blue, of course, as we mentioned, have been in top spots. Like, in terms of like top 8s for Frosting, as we mentioned, just this year. Top 8 finalists over at the CPT East Finals. On the chance, on the verge of qualifying in terms of being up that area and having the consistency in one of the hardest, if not probably the second hardest or maybe hardest region in some people's minds. You got to be able to stay solid and grind things out. So we see Blue up here. I don't know who he's paying to keep being up here, but I think his matches either go so fast and just keep getting him up here. But he'll have an opponent he's fought a few times, Davey.
Okay, so that should be an interesting matchup at that one. I mean, Blue, especially coming in, we saw gameplay earlier, really utilizing the jackknife maximum at points, and it was brutal, especially going it against Arms. But now, this time, if I remember correctly, possible Dawson?
We'll see. So he said Sim. You know when the player says, I'm only going to play a character, and they don't play that character? That happens to me all the time. Every time I ask a player, hey, man, who you playing? Like, yeah, I'm always playing this
And then
character.
they completely break their trust by saying, yeah, I'm just going to play this.
Shouts to my boy Lashar for rotating 3 different characters after saying, I never play this character again. He does. So, anyway, Davey does have a Blanca, but it's running with the Sim. I think Blanca DJ is bad already, but Sim DJ is way worse. But he's been grinding out Sim way more. It's a comfortability thing. It's not about what's on paper. It's what you do in the match.
And that's the thing, especially coming into my region and then going into even my Street Fighter 6 rank, I don't see much of Dawson in the first place. You see him here and there, but when you do, it's like, okay, this can either go really like easy and one for me, or I'm getting cooked.
It's very, very rare to see a really good Dawson play. Hard character to play, you have to worry about the button economy, I should say. So you're looking for how many times throwing on fireballs and buttons. Might get DI'd. For this matchup, Odie Fireball can catch you. Perfect parry. The punish right after. My favorite book. I like this. A knockdown side switch. David taking advantage outside that corner.
Man, especially when you think about it, right? Dawson has the overextending limbs over Arjun at that one, and then really trying to like into it. Most of those can really get pressured all of a sudden. It's like making cross screen. Well, yes, so your zoning abilities really can just turn against you, especially when it comes to Blue. Closing the gap already, back in the corner throw.
See, that's the thing. That's the problem right there is that you're trying to throw out the limbs. Even more so it's harder because that funky slasher, air slasher, please me, that OD version especially will cut the limbs. So, oh no, too far out for the combo to hit. The Crouch Fierce is there. Crouch Fierce again, the trade conversion, from the sweep, and perfectly spaced. Almost got the combo right after. I was talking to Blue on the court. He was like, yeah, man, drop combos. It's all right. I'll survive. I was able to pick it up, hit that level 3. Victory.
Yeah, that's fine. 15 hits. We're going for that 50 hit is already in for Blue. Should not be a problem. Guaranteed kill.
First round, 2 rounds, first game, I should say, for Blue. It's hard to see what Davey's really doing wrong. I mean, he's playing the matchup as much as you can, but you can't throw out the buttons we talked about. I like this. Okay, the float with the jump fierce, he avoids the sweep. At least we can delay that. No! What are you hitting, you demons? My man was swinging at the air right there. Hello?
Oh, the shenanigans just happening on with the fireball, and of course, Davey back in the burnout state. Xavier said the same for Blue here, just got a little dangerous with it, but still gonna have to go for the down elbow. Back throw again.
So bad.
And
No
the
good mummy.
teleport.
He doesn't leave the corner though. He doesn't go for the teleport. Cut up in the corner. About to be a DI before we get the bar back. No, the throw instead.
Flash it into the fireball mix up. But down go the fire.
Uh-oh. Tap parry too much. You can't tap parry too much because you're close to burnout. Throw.
Good button here, especially going into blue. But already just caught by your toes. Davey, though, back in burnout. Now we got to play risky game with it.
One touch scenario. Either side, depending on what they hit, this should be it. The just cool into the medium Sobot. Heavy Sobot, excuse me. What's all the bar, all the damage done here. Blew up a game and around. He has been kind of quick in the competition.
This one, Fireballs is trying to get in with this sweep. Could be enough for Davey. Guarantees at least some amount of pressure and the damage at that one. Back sneaking in the corner, but that slide not gonna work. Sobot the hit.
Even better the fact that you got the punish on that. Crouch fierce, but didn't have a cancel right after. Dash up into nothing. Floats over the fireball. Careful not to get the charge. He might have been able to DP that. Trying to stay solid as Davey and try to keep his drive gauge up. Catches him on the way down with the jab starter. Level 3. Gum Gum no Yoga.
Trying to down slash, but that level 3 is still going to work out enough for Davey here. And against Blue, even the meter. Actually, hold on. Still alive. That is 41 HP. You got to yourself. But still,
Little
not
layup. The little put the dishes away, like right here.
Exactly.
What do you get? Your orders, sir. Garçon, thank you. Careful now. Hold the DP still hit.
Just the edge of Jackknife was enough, but even so, Davey just still trying to keep up the pressure, able to get that flow. Teleport still gets caught though.
Heavy Sobot, double dash up. Heavy kick trying to hit something, anything. Waits for the teleport. The DP is there. Crouch fierce, crouching medium punch, throw. No, to stand medium instead. So I'm trying to leave. It's so hard to jump. You have the big jumping, like the other characters, like you're on the fast jump, I should say. Perfect parry, sweet punish, fireball set up the side, switch the mix with Houdini. You can't even see me. I love that.
Man, on fire, I imagine. Gotta be spicy as all hell. Scoville level has to be measured after the fact, but get out the pressure with the fireball at that one. Jackknife to the max.
No touch. Tap the medium Sobot to make him drop. That's 2 games up here for Blue. And you did see Davey bring it back. He had to switch some bars to bottom for the level 3. A little bit too early, I feel like. It's unfortunate, but that's what it, what it requires. It's a hard match with the character, and you don't get many chances to deal the damage, especially in Sim this season, or in this game, I should say.
Not even that even with this bracket in the first place. I mean, I'm almost certain has to be one of the only Dawson players coming into this. I could be wrong, but still a Rarian, a specialist. Cut that one from Davey. Tried it with the fireball. A little bit of damage. Has to go for the slash hits.
But the air jump meter kick wasn't able to get it. Too far out. If you throw. When the fireball he does. When he fireball though, in rebuttal, Blue knew he was going to sling out some plasmas. Has mind stronger, mind spicy.
There we go. Machine gun punches off. We'd love to see it, but even then tried the overextending limbs. Davey now put back in a burnout. That back feint. Trying to running knee slash again.
He's canceling the fireball to keep it nice and airtight. Drop, eye.
With the wall stun, jump in for the loop. And for Blue, even with that burnout, still might be enough off the super.
Sobot to make him drop. That's a set point here for Blue. And he's doing such a good job of, putting him in burnout, chipping away. Against other DJ players, maybe the strategy of Davies would work out. Floating over and trying to space out things with the fireballs, but Blue is just so hard to read. Only DP. Then he goes to that from like I'm a footsie-based player to bust out. It's hard to know when he's gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially back up against the OG with the teleport. Tried to fire again, but we got the impact to hit. Now drive.
DI is such a good tool against his character, against Sugan, I should say. A lot of his moves, a lot of his buttons are DI-able. And you can't really DI right back on some things, so it's a good idea to kind of throw that out, especially if you expect a heavy button like that.
Oh, also just really getting out the jump here too. I mean, Blue was expecting some pressure, but Davey instead going for the back teleport option. Goes for it, down slash right into the rush. Fireball upper, and obviously with the crouch hits.
It's tough to jump fierce. Yeah, avoided that fireball, calling out the intention of the fireballs every so often. The anti-air was there, almost got him, get the yoga uppercut, but wasn't able to get the flame follow-up. Slide on in, get the back medium kick, knock down, teleport, back throw.
Go, the pressure, and for Blue, even able with the parry. Davey could float away just momentarily. He's trying to get center of stage here, but able to just crouch right under fireball.
Oh, perfect parry. Nice and close against the medium, strike throw. It's
So
a
bad
crouching
as well.
medium punch.
Go for the slash instead, but that down knee slash maybe once, twice, staying here a second time here. Yeah, third time, but just with the chip damage, Davey is trying to go back up on me. There we go with the super still working.
Yeah, had to go for the level 2 right there, the Sansara. It's a one-touch scenario, so this isn't too bad. OD Comet, the fireball right there, that burns him out. There's no way this lands. He's floating, he's floating, he's floating. Yeah, avoidance is fantastic. Still up in the air, still up there, and he is staying solid. But he gave him the board.
And a butterfly in the sky, of course, Dawson can go twice as high here.
You don't know that. Is that? Hold on now. Were you old up for that?
Yes, I was reading Rainbow. You know it was. That was PBS 2006 for me.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Exactly. I don't want to hear it. Really, the unction out here trying to scold me on what I watched back in the day. Back in your day, I imagine you were probably typing out in a cave still.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that.
Throw is going to be drive reversal no matter what. You know, like that backing him off. And Blue's still in burnout, so at this point, come on, bearing up burnout off the fireballs, the limbs, but unfortunately it's the end. The anti-air is trying to jump in there with the jump fears. Now you see kind of Blue just like back up. He's holding. He's like, chilling, I'm cooling. You got to come to me to get the victory. So I'm just going to DP you.
Exactly. Just come aside. I'm not going to jump you. I'm not going to do anything. On God? Well, maybe. Maybe not. Depends on how I feel for the day, but are they just going for the jump in light? That's fine. Back feint still gets hit, though.
Yeah, that crouching beauty punch will catch him out of the room that Blue would like to escape to. Trying to find a slide against some of these shallower floats. Catches him with the counter hit, the super fireball. I don't know if he's right. Yeah, knee drop there.
Good job, though, especially going into the elbow slash. He's still going to at least try to hit there. At least try to get David burnout. Best.
Take that trade. Avoids the fireball. Oh, Blue trying to take his turn. Minus range.
That one against Blue. We got one more. We got another throw off rip. Throw loop 6 to my favorite game to play. And long live the extender.
Throw loop 6. People can avoid throw loops. They've got reversals. It's harder for them, obviously. You know, I like that Davey backed off, kind of let him whip, do what he had to do, and finish off from there. That's what you play around the idea of the throw loops, you know?
That teleport, but grab not going to work. Instead, jackknife. I was expecting that to get punished at least
too.
harsher from Davey, but instead falls short.
Yeah, the timing I think was not there with the heavy kick. Punish counter damage on that character can be kind of dicey also. Into the Gum Yoga once again, and you got to get Gear 5 to survive right now. Because Davey is in burnout. He does have the lead, but Blue has many ways to get in as long as that drive gauge is somewhat up. Float, stay, medium so bot, the fake out, the plus frames.
Into the throw as well. Just keep Davey in the corner. Still doesn't have the meter canceled out completely. Jump cancel on the down elbow. That's going to be enough for Blue here. 3-1.
3-1 once again here for Blue to take another game, another set, I should be saying. Another competitor who's very consistent. It just really exemplifies the fact that when your drive gauge, when you use drive gauge on your side of things, you have your own game plan of like, oh, you spend this much, and this much, and this much. However, you have to worry about how much they take from you. That crouch fierce takes away so much drive gauge. Very chunky button. He's been using that quite a few often times to find a punish counter, but also to take away the drive gauge of Davey. So like Blue very good with the poking. Think of poking with like lighter buttons. He's poking with crouch fierce a lot too as well to take away the drive gauge, find openings and find success. And then when you're in burnout, it's night time.
True, and honestly, Davey had a lot of good game plans here. You can see with the strategy trying with the extension, it still was not enough for that one, especially after the fact I was expecting a punish off a jackknife, but that's the one that got me.
It's just that the timing wasn't there, and unfortunately, like you know, you're a little bit late on the button right there. But we're gonna be late on these next matches. We have some matches coming up. We're gonna actually move to a different area, move to a bigger venue. So stick with it.
today just to determine seeding. Everybody stays in then for tomorrow in that double elimination bracket. And as we talk through kind of what that bracket's looked like thus far, we give a quick introduction to everyone. I'm Cadnator. For those who haven't been with us, we've got Sai on the desk with us as well, Miles, and beautiful Crow wrapping us off with our Street Fighter 6 portion. And with that said, Crow, talk to me about the matches we've seen so far in the bracket.
Man, look. They have been happening off stream on the side here in the venue as well. A lot of really interesting things happening in round one as is. I mean, we've seen a few upsets, we've seen some sweeps coming through. I mean, the big talk of this tournament is, kind of Paladins coming in as that first seed and looking down the line, like seeing that 3-0 over D-Knock, and then the one I want to touch on, Luke SFH versus RG Prime, going all 5 games. Luke taking that one out. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, Luke, when he's performing at his best, can definitely be a spoiler. Looking at potentially just absolutely taking over the entire tournament because he's such a solid player in his own regard, how he commands the stage and how he commands the game. So for that to go with all 5 games, kind of surprising.
Absolutely, it's been gritty, to say the very least. Miles, why do you think this bracket has looked so gritty thus far?
I mean, these players are playing for a pretty big prize pool, and listen, we've seen, 6 games go to Game 5, and so many upsets too. These players know that seeding is everything here. It's going to determine how close you are to that upper echelon, whether you're going to have to face Paladin early in the bracket, whether you're going to have to face Harms or a Pink DS Lite or anything like that. You do not want to put yourself in that position, so day one is crucial, and the players rather, are definitely showing they're taking it seriously with all of these to-the-wire sets.
Yeah, especially some of these lower-seeded players, man, you gotta really come into this one and come strong in this round-robin stage, without a doubt. And speaking of which, I want to talk about what you guys think are going to be the key players throughout this weekend. If we go down the row here, we'll start with Sai. Who do you see as winning this whole thing? And then what's your dark horse who might be able to get the job done?
I'm going to be very transparent with you. My number one player that I think is going to take this bracket would definitely be Paladin. Paladin is an incredibly talented Shoto player overall, focuses now on Akuma, but also has such a strong Ryu as well. And if you're Paladin, this is definitely the patch for you. Season 2 has been amazing with the Shoto characters. Akuma has honestly been a top tier since his inception in the Street Fighter 6, and Ryu slowly had to climb up the tier list little by little, and getting those buffs along the way really helped. But at this point, both characters are like massive tournament threats. We just saw Ryu in Grands at Capcom Cup, which wouldn't necessarily expect to see that character that far in the bracket, but he is incredibly powerful. So I gotta go with Paladin as my number one pick to win this whole thing. If I had to pick a number 2, it gets a little bit dicey. There's other like really interesting players like Milu that are really good. Sim is just like an insane, it's hard to even start having a solid game plan against Sim because it's so unique to that character, and there's so many intricate things in that matchup that you just kind of have to know and you don't get a lot of practice with. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some more upsets from Pink DS Lite either, or 23. 23, I think, is the biggest wild card of this entire bracket. People aren't sure where this player came from, but we know they're really talented. We know they're playing Kimberly. Kimberly's doing amazing in this patch. So honestly, anything could happen, but definitely putting my money on Paladin if I had to bet.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, Sai already covered the good points of why it's probably going to be Paladin, but I'm also going to predict Paladin. But, I'll go for some different ideas. So Paladin walked out there on stage to receive his jersey earlier today and didn't feel satisfied with the amount of cheers he was getting and just waved his hand at the crowd and it erupted. Like, Paladin knows he is the best player in the venue, and even if the other players think they might be, they're gonna have to beat him to prove him wrong. And so that level of confidence, I've got to go with Paladin. But Crow actually sold me on Qua as a potential spoiler for it. Like, I won't go too deep into it because I'm sure you're gonna predict him as well, but Qua, this is a very volatile environment where all the players are fighting incredibly hard to keep their spot. And if Qua's methodical playstyle helps him keep cool, keep calm, fight his way through these early stages, get a high seed, and then get a good shot at Paladin, I think Qua could maybe do it and walk away with our first place prize.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm saying it like Qua is my dark horse, but he's also kind of like my pick under
actual pick.
Yeah. So good at just knowledge checking you. Like, his tech that he uses, whatever, a lot of drive rush abuse does happen. He's like, no, get out of here. We're not playing that. That is not happening. And I do think, like, when he plays against players that are seated or ranked above him, he can rise and meet them very easily. If he's playing against players that are seated below him, he generally just goes through 3-0. Sometimes, gets that 4-1. Just very consistent. Like, if I could give a Mr. Consistent award to any of the 12 players in this bracket, I would put that at Qua. But also, my dark horse being Luke SFH from Carthage.
Okay.
Because mindset is everything going into these things. And his mental, when he's on top of it, it's just so hard to stop his momentum.
Sure.
That snowball can get going down that mountain and can just clear everyone in the field. And I mean, the amount of tape watching he's been doing, the amount of studying he's been doing. We talked a little bit yesterday. He's like, yeah, man, I mean, Florida International, yeah, they got B, they got Paladin, ooh, CPT, ooh, yeah, cool. I'm gonna stop him. And I definitely think he has the ability to do so.
Well, we'll have to see. We've got a Luke matchup coming up, and so much so we've got 4 matchups on the way for us. And let's jump through kind of what these matchups are going to be. We'll get 2 from round 2. The first is going to be 23 versus Hippo. And that's 23, who is the 11th seed in this bracket. Coming from Virginia State, you mentioned that is the true dark horse of this tournament, if you ask me. There is no bracket. There's no bracket page. It's a piece of paper bracket done at Virginia State. There's no footage. We have no idea what that tournament looked like. Like 23 truly, it came to the red carpet yesterday. I heard Sepulence in that interview talking about 23, where did you come from? 23 said, I don't know. So up against what is going to be Hippo, the 10 seed. Miles, anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, the other players we're talking about 23 too. I mean, Hippo coming from UTA, obviously the power buff we talked about earlier today where he's getting to sleep in his own bed and then come play. But 23 especially, I was talking to a lot of the players and they're just like, yeah, I've been prepping so extensively for this event. And like, I don't know, I found like a phone recording of 23 from like 2 years ago. Like what do I do? Like he's got a good repertoire, he's got experience, he's been playing some Street Fighter 4 and he's honed his skills, but like beyond that, he's just been kind of this like weird topsy-turvy matchup for a lot of these players.
I do think it'll be pretty interesting just because 23, I did over here, like he's sitting ranked-wise like on the Street Fighter 6 ladder in like lower masters when a bunch of the other 11 players are in like that high master, with title positions on a lot of their characters. He is the other Kimberly player in this bracket. I do think 23 has the ability to play spoiler to them in the seeding, but like I said, I'm very excited to get into it. I do know he went down 3-0 to Davey earlier, and I mean, it's round robin, every single match matters significantly more. If he can bounce back from that, like I said, potentially take a game off of any of the other players in the field, just get something going, just like get something on the board. You're here, you made it here, no one expected you, no one knew you were gonna be here. Do your best, show out, rep your school, have fun.
And like Davey's not an easy matchup either, and he's actually one of the other matchups we have. We talked about Davey, we talked about Qua, and guess what? They're fighting each other in round 2 too. And I've been looking forward to this, mostly because like Davey comes from the Smash scene, and I gotta shout that out. But Davey, going up against them, like you said, Sim, weird matchup to go into round 1, right? And Davey is especially aggressive, but if Qua is playing how he usually does and really forcing Davey to burn a lot of his drive early off, like it's going to be forcing some hard decisions from Davey like 10 seconds into the match. And so he's going to have to commit to aerials, but that's what Qua wants. He wants Davey to be overcommitting, so then he can just back up and get a punish. So Davey is going to have to be playing this weird mind game of he knows I know, but I know he knows I know, but he knows I know.
5D check.
It's all about the Yomi,
Yeah, it's going to be insane. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I mean, Davey, I can never talk like good enough about him, and piloting Dolphin in this entire thing, making it all the way here has been really dope to see, and like I just want to see how well he does. But yeah, I mean,
speaking of, those are round 2 matchups. Round 3 is DNOC, Luke SVH, and then round 5 will be Abyssal and RG Prime. But speaking of waiting to see it, Crow, you don't have to any longer. The matches are ready. 4 Street Fighter 6 matchups on the way. Let's send it to the stage as we continue the Collegiate Street Fighter series. Put a crown on it.
Welcome to our next match in Street Fighter 6 here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2025. Our matchup in Street Fighter 6 features the number 11 seed 23 and the number 10 seed Hippo. Let's introduce our players. By the way, of Virginia State University, the number 11 seed 23. And the number 10 seed, by the way, of the University of Texas at Arlington, Hippo. And now, please welcome back your hosts, Septolins.
There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2025. I'm your host, Septolins, and I hope you guys are excited because history is about to be made here on the main stage. The very first main stage Street Fighter event here between Hippo and 23 as they go head-to-head. And before we jump into the game, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind joining me up here, please, just to ask you a little bit about what we're going to be seeing here today. So, 23, we talked a little bit about what this weekend's going to look like for you guys and how Street Fighter, in a very unique way, everybody warms up in a different way. It's not that you guys are going and doing the same thing every day, but you have these different routines and these different warm-ups. What did warm-up look like for you today?
Yeah, today was like pretty casual. All I did was I just stepped up. I went to training room. I played a couple like casual matches with people, and I just kind of watched everyone else play.
Absolutely, and you know, Hippo, you and I were talking backstage a little bit about how to qualify here, to play, to compete, you played online the entire time, and now being brought here offline. How do you feel about that, and do you think that's going to change how well you can perform this weekend?
I'd say for the past 2 semesters now, from fall and spring, we played online, and the start transition, the very first event offline is the big one. It definitely is making a super big difference. Just now, we already saw half of our round robin sets being played, and I'd say every single set I saw from every player in like most combos had at least one combo drop in it. And it's great that, you know, Capcom is putting all this support in for the online, because, you know, they have such a great online already. But, you know, the big event being offline, it is great as well that they flew us all out here. But it is very different from the online series that we've been playing.
Absolutely. I mean, let's give it up for Capcom for being so supportive, for helping make this happen, helping make CECC history. I mean, it's great for me as well. I come from fighting games. I've been playing since I was maybe 12 years old, so every time a fighting game gets added to CECC, I am elated. But enough about me. Gentlemen, let's get that handshake and let's jump into the game. We're going to go ahead and throw it to our casters, St. Cola and Ashervach, as they jump into our first series of the day.
It's time for the madness to continue out here in the streets. Collegiate Street Fighter is going to continue, and you got me, St. Cola, and Ash right here to take you through that action. Yo, thus far, how you been feeling about that?
Honestly, really excited, really nervous at that, because I'm sitting here like, okay, we're about to have a day when it comes to our Street Fighter 6 players. So far, we've had Blue, we've had Harms, the E Honda Action, as well as Luke SFH.
It's true.
The dastardly JPs have been running havoc in our bracket, even more so. But in this match particular, maybe not Kimberly versus Bison, maybe not.
We'll see, we'll see. 23 kind of reminds me of a young Idon, kind of have that same sort of energy, like that Stoop Kid energy, like you don't know what he really about in an offline scene. He cook up in his regionals, in his locals,
Yep.
But that could happen here where you put him in a bigger environment and he just grows from there and becomes that big threat. This could be the genesis. I even told him, I was like, hey man, you got that same sort of vibe. Like that might be Idon's son, I don't know. Either way though, you got my boy Hippo up there. We always talk about who can beat these gorillas and stuff like that. How many men will it take to beat down a Hippo? It might take one, it might take many more if Hippo moves on. We'll see what happens. We have Bison versus Kim as our first match, Hippo versus 23. Let's get it.
We've seen plenty of Bison. Today's been absolutely exciting at that one. But Kimberly, so button check so far. But when it comes to 23, one player that we have not heard that much about, but does highlight an important thing, the HBCU circuit. So those who are familiar, right? The historical Black college and university system, right? Schools that you might know, say Morehouse, Spelman College, Virginia State University, or even my auntie's alma mater, Howard University. So a rarity to see here in the first place at CECC, but fire at that one.
Look at what these schools can enable these players to do, giving them a platform, giving them support that they wouldn't have normally. If you are sitting at home and you at a college or you at school, even some of this classic side of stuff too as well, we talk about play versus and the like, there are a lot of resources that people don't even know exist and don't use. It's free money for y'all to go and talk to, maybe get out the tournaments and stuff like that, or be a part of an esports team, have a coach behind you instead of working by yourself. So use that stuff to your advantage. That was a button check we saw previously. Now it's time for the nitty gritty. Again, Bison versus Kim, a matchup that we saw previously on the other stream. We saw kind of inaccurate, whoever got that pressure starting, going and flowing. It was hard to stop. We'll see what happens here on this big main stage. Man, it's different than online. The lights are on you. You got a crowd behind you cheering or jeering against you. It's a different feeling.
I mean, true, we have to remind y'all that when we say online, these players are used to either CFGC, the last chance qualifier, CECC, in 23's case, the HBCU school circuit. So, like we said, big stage, very different from what we're used to having. But good start at that, trying to go for that drive rush impact, but instead, back throw coming out from Hippo.
Right, that's basically on the stand medium kick. That's a good ruler tool to kind of gauge what you want to do. Now finds a stand fierce, counter and combo incoming, bounce, bomb. This is the win condition for Bison. Get the bomb on, get that damage, and then kind of lock them down. If you press a button, you might die. The overhead, no block.
And no block on that one. 23 just found in a vulnerable position, caught out. Even then, you try to go for the impact. That's enough armor, break through, and then you go for the stand right in the throw.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing right there to be able to DI right back. You know, 23 maybe feeling a little bit more pressured to attempt the DI, maybe hoping a button that he could DI was there, but Bison has a lot of cancelable buttons with punish. Ready gets that drive rush, crouching medium punch, and another back fist, bomb on, walk up throw, tap parry, punished.
Just the perfect parry standing there, menacingly, if you will, already going for the drop OD special at that one, straight into the super conversion.
Now, this is a grip of damage, the ultimate Psycho Crusher. One more touch, one tap, a sneeze, a freeze kill.
Honestly, allergies are really gonna mess you up here in 23's case. You just gotta stand. But at the same time, that is a perfect round thus far for Hippo.
Yeah, stand medium kick. Again, we talked about that tool being a ruler tool, also a good closer tool as well, as we see right there. That was a good hachu. Scissor kick on in, but again, no punish, counter hit. Does get the conversion off the crouching medium punch. Back fist, we've seen this so many times. We'll see what the defense, maybe we'll see some drive reversals. This time he waits it out. We'll see what the back heavy kick starter.
And of course, trying to go for that missile action into the knee bomber, but instead opting for the corner pressure at that one. So maybe just trying to find any chip, any way to get out, but even then the OD knee right into Psycho Crush.
Damn,
and with the wall back, that's nasty.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? If you try to press a button, the bomb might go off. You might guess wrong. You might delay button wrong and get caught with explosion either way. So DI was definitely a good play right there. A very dangerous Hippo right here. This guy has been layering on the pressure, and it's been the same story. Land the back fist, just continuously pressure them in the corner and keep them down.
I was about to say, good reason that both of these players qualified for this in the first place, but when you talk about Hippo, right, last chance qualifiers, a beast in regional play at that one. No joke. But still, trying to go for the drop at that one, still able to get in. Jump heavy kick coming in from 23, not going to be enough though. OD Crusher.
Impact right back.
Corner. Impact once, impact twice, and no shame on me in it.
Yeah, I love that Psycho Crusher into the level 3. One of the best enters you can do for that super to get as much damage as possible. I mean, it's going to probably kill it no matter what. But regardless, you also see the fact that Hippo's going for DI-able buttons, or buttons they can DI out of, I should say. Stand medium punch is a really good button to kind of throw out there, and if you think they're going to DI, get DI right back. 2 games up here for the Hippo.
Up so far. Of course, Cole, I got to ask you about this one when it comes to 23 and the Kimberly play. Probably better adjusting, especially against the heavy pressure that Hippo has to offer.
I want to see some perfect parry attempts. You know, some of these longer buttons like stand fierce and things like that. Even the back heavy kick, you're going to have to rotate those defensive options up in the corner. It's hard because she doesn't really have a DP. So you don't have like the traditional stuff, but you have to rotate what the game gives you. Tap parry, delay button. Speaking of parry, Hippo's like, yo, I could do that actually. Man, I wasn't even talking to you.
I was about to say no perfect rounds here. We got the perfect parry though. Throw broken out of, so 23 really starting to wisen up, especially to a lot of these throw loops that Hippo really has to put you in.
I still got the pickup.
He still got it into the guillotine.
One more touch. DI, if he wants to play around that idea, that's why you see Hippo not overextending. Have to overextend to get the win. He's going to DI, but playing around the reactions, it's unfortunate. You have to have the help for that transaction so you can DI right back, and Hippo knew that. That's how you know 23 is like a good character, or player, I should say, because he's trying to DI back in that moment, and his hand is just not able to think with his brain, like, I can't do that. I don't have the help.
I mean, the game that really requires in some situations, I mean, let's go gambling. In that situation was not enough life to gamble on. Unfortunate to happen. You have to end up, oh, dang it. I say that, though. We got the loops out. and the reset at that, able to throw escape though. But as I say, that crowd light right in the roof.
Yeah, didn't really have much off that reset. Could have a little bit more in terms of like corner carry and pressure. Now it's getting scared. It's going to get boring like a horror story. Cycle Crusher into the super to seal the deal. Hippo a 3-0 in dominant fashion. He mentioned that he'd been playing a lot online. He'd been grinding and how it's different offline. The lights have not affected him. 23 though, definitely a lot shakier than when I saw him in practice, what we saw over the other stage and things like that. You know, he definitely even said that he was nervous to be out here. It's a different sort of vibe, and I think it kind of got to him. We saw the overhead, but no real follow-ups or buttons right after. Even if your buttons aren't further enough to catch right after, sometimes you have to like walk up or maybe walk up stand fierce to kind of reassess and realign yourself, but that wasn't there. So unfortunately, that is going to be a loss for 23, and they win for Hippo. Look at him smiling. He's like, you know what you did.
Give him the thumbs up. It's like, you know what, I got it done. It's only day one. We got 2 more days to go here. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is only seeding, so you definitely want more seeding, but still, we're going to go over to the interview stage.
Hello, everybody. We are back with Hippo from UTA, coming in as the 11th seed for Street Fighter and winning this matchup 2-0. So, Hippo, you come. You know, you can answer the same question almost again. How did it feel to play offline here? Was there any additional pressure being on the main stage?
So, like I said earlier, the whole Challenge Series was online, and this is the only offline event. But luckily, I do have like a good amount of experience offline already. So the transition, while it is different, I don't think it affected my gameplay at all. I'd say, unfortunately, I did sense a bit of nerves in my opponent today. It's a big stage. It's a really great production value, but I've been here before, so I think I handled it pretty well.
Absolutely no stranger. So going in, one opponent already down, perhaps only a couple away from that grand prize. Is there anybody else you're looking at to go head-to-head with this weekend?
Yeah, there's a lot of powerful competitors here today. Paladin, Blue, Davey, Harms, Luke, SFH, Pink DS Light. They're just names that scare me. They're powerful players. So yeah, I'm excited to play against them, and I'm ready to see what they got for me.
Absolutely. Well, Hippo, thank you so much for joining me here on stage. I know we're excited to see some more of you. We've got a lot of Street Fighter coming up in just a couple of minutes, so I think it's time to check out the next match.
Great job, bro. My goodness, you crushed that. Great. Welcome to our next match in Street Fighter 6 here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2025. Our matchup features the number 7 seed Qua and the number 6 seed Davey. Let's introduce our players one at a time. First, the number 7 seed from the University at Albany, Qua. And the opponent, the number 6 seed from the University of Texas at Arlington, Davey. And now, please welcome back your host, Septilence.
Oh my goodness, hello everybody. I feel like I was just out here. I'm getting some deja vu. We're jumping into our next set here of Street Fighter, so let's make some more noise for these folks here. We've got Davey and Qua coming in at 6th and 7th for their seed. Now Davey, you and I have known each other for a couple years. We've seen you play in a couple other fighting games as well. So why Street Fighter? Why now? What is it about this game that pulled you in? I mean, you found yourself in the 6th seed. That's pretty darn good.
I mean, when Street Fighter 6 dropped, it was like an explosion, right? Like, this game was huge, and, you know, I just had to hop on the wave.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, jumping on the wave, clearly doing a good job at that. Having another player at your school to play against is always helpful, all the same. And on the other side here, you know, we are looking a lot about what we want to see, what warm-up looks like, how we're feeling going into matchups, and how has play been for you today? I mean, how have things been? What did you do to warm up for this matchup here?
So far, the play has been great, and for warm-ups, since I play character Luke, who has a strict combo timing, I stayed in training mode a lot and adjusting my time for timing for combo, and that's what I did.
Yeah, have you found the journey jumping from the offline to online being a little bit difficult to time that combo correctly, or has it been easier than one might think?
It's definitely offline and online thing, and also it could be the PS5. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, let's find out just how ready you are. Let's get that handshake and let's get started. Let's make a round of applause for these boys as they go head-to-head in our second match.
right. I am here for some more good Collegiate Street Fighter 6. It's been a fun day so far, but back in your number one caster, Astrovok. We got Shane Cola on the mic as well. How we doing, especially going to our second one?
Fantastic. We got Qua on the stage. I know he's saying his name wrong.
Okay, Fetty
because his name is definitely. Come on now. Come on now. Say what's up. Well, okay, enough. We also got Davey up on the screen now. Going back to Qua, though, he's a very stable Luke player. If you know Noah, you know that man likes to get active, wild, not mild. But someone like Qua, very stable on the ground and approach and pressure. He likes to check and see what you're trying to do. If you're trying to walk back, hit you with the crouching light kick or go for the crouching medium punch for the plus frames. Davey, though, on the sim, didn't have the best time fighting against a horrible matchup just recently. There's got a lot of bad matchups out here. So if you have a lot of bad matchups, and you know your character is coming out here with a lot of bad matchups, and a mental sort of thing, what do you do to get mentally prepared?
If anything, mentally prepared, say, okay, I understand this is a fairly bad matchup for me,
right.
But that doesn't mean it's over for me in the first place. You still have a chance. So if anything, mentally, don't put yourself down and out at least too soon here. Again, this is only day one. We have day two double elimination to get through tomorrow. But day one, of course, dependent on where it puts you in the first place.
That's true. This is all working for the seeding, but definitely looking to see who is doing what and where also. You know, same in person, but love the energy. Definitely a very humble guy, very nice guy. Davey, not that at all. Davey's the boy, though, and shout outs to him on home turf. Let's see if we can put out for a scene.
Yeah, Davey, really chill out here, especially when it comes to Dawson gameplay. In the first place, again, you don't see much of it at all. But then going into Collegiate Street Fighter, starting an uptick, mostly because of Davey. And I'm like, okay, player to definitely watch out for, especially going in for the limb extensions.
Right.
After that Yoga Teleport can really put you through a loop. What Davey does, and I have noticed this at least a couple of times, right? Just to bait you, with the float. And then after the fact, okay, I'm expecting a teleport. No, Yoga Fireball right at the face. Have fun with that. Gonna be cool for me. For you, not so much.
There'll be definitely some spacings that you have to be worried about. Some of the players will go for intentional knockdowns, will go for a teleport, kind of float away, give themselves time to kind of bait out a DP. And for Luke, unfortunately, his anti-airs, his DPs aren't the best. It makes the matchup a little bit hard. So he'll be able to avoid the fireballs. And then you'll see like float jump fierce over some of the fireballs too as well, getting a punish counter into damage. So I think that this matchup maybe got a little bit better for Sim because he did get some buffs off a heavy kick.
Okay.
There's like punish counter, allowing him to be more accessible for damage and punishes and things like that. But Qua, if he can keep him down on the ground and run his grounded game plan that we like to see, the stable game plan with his Luke, you might see the victory. Either way, Sim versus Luke, Qua versus Davey. Let's go.
All right, we're about to have fun with this. It's almost enough to make me hit the taste to make some noise out to the crowd, but I gotta calm it down at least just for a little bit.
At the crouching medium punch, no conversion right after. Slight walk back, avoids the slide and applies some damage, but doesn't get the light knuckle. We talked about how the medium knuckle, didn't really get the follow-up. That's a difference in being in a different sort of environment. Trade conversion off the backboard, heavy DP, or light DP, He's going for the lighter ones right there. I guess he wants the close range advantage.
Man, even committing to the burnout in the first place doesn't even drop it once. That's totally fine. But earlier in the round, saw a little bit of that peak at Sandblast, right? It's really just this matchup, right? Coming in through quality Sandblast, has got to be useful here. Am I correct?
Yeah, it can be if it's not floated over. Now we're going for the CQC. You see nice and close. OD Chaser, beast mode to kill some of that drive gauge. Look at the corner here on this. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because he already dragged him there before he knocked him right up in the east side. This is unfortunate. Try to go for a fireball, teleport on out. You need to find your way out, though. I thought you had to confirm.
I was about to say teleport way out just for a little bit of safety, but instead going in for the slide. There's that teleport we were talking about a little earlier, conjunction with the fireball, but Extender just caught out, especially trying to go for the down slash into the upper.
Drive impact right back. It's actually Davey that's able to get it in the last moment. Back heavy kick, back heavy punch, that's the Lance right there. Oh, this is a bear and a burnout. You don't get to press a button. Quaff does find the gap, the back throw. Medium heavy kick, that's why you saw the screen shake right there. Gonna go for the fireball, interrupt it, you do a little bit more damage to kill this cat.
They both got meter back, but at what cost? Getting dangerous if they're trying to slide in, especially off the slow fireball. That's fine, got to measure chip damage even with burnout. Davey playing it risky, and where there's high risk, you have that high reward. That being one round win into a final round.
DI was a good idea because he couldn't DI right back, and then after that he sets up the space trap for the stand medium kick. Very smart stuff. Going to super here, yeah, he will to get his bar back, get some damage up, but didn't combo the DI right back. Is the Sansara still there? I think it's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's floated away. It's somewhere absorbed in the sun, and that's totally fine. But got more fire, more pressure at that one. Goes for the super instead. Maybe keep it up. At least limb extender again into the Yoga Teleport. Float, excuse me.
Fireballs, close range with it, better to play with. Stand medium. It's where Sim loves to be at. Having a big lead, you got to come to him to get the win. It's hard to advance with the long limbs. Mr. Fantastic himself with the yoga uppercut. Davey taking that first game.
I can tell that Davey definitely adjusting from the previous games that we did see him in, right? Especially against that last DJ match. A little tricky, but hey, we have Luke to focus on coming in. That's totally fine, especially going in for the rush into the immediate throw, the side swap.
Yeah, that was a little reset right there. Does get the drive rush, crouch fierce, jump fierce. Get no charge knuckle, but no problem. Davey's in burnout. Oh, this is real bad. Target combo with the side switch. He fought. Yes, that's a gap. He teleports on out of that. He's still ashy.
That's fine. We got burnout, but we might be fine here. I mean, Davey taking some chip, and that's going to be enough to guarantee the wall stun, crush, and the uppercut coming in from Qua.
Die.
Had DI that.
No, you know that wasn't going to be a level 1 right after. Davey gonna save that bar. Almost got the throw with the suppressor, just too far off the distance. The OD fireball, let's get the knockdown. Perfect parry. Looking for the jump in. Let's jail no bail. Lock him out. Be the warden.
Got more fire at that. But he's got the down slash to worry about, especially in the rush. Just confirm real quick, but float right into the throw. Keep you in the corner, locked down, and they won't let you out. But Qua able to break it out in the first place.
Here's the OD DP to avoid. Punish counter throw. Perfect parry. Had to do so because that would have been a probable burnout scenario if he didn't do it. Side switch. Davey still has a lead. Has Spark. You jump back. Pierce is there at that range. You get anti-air. Let him in.
Got the Sand Blast on lock. I mean, just floating in the sky. And imagine for Davey can go twice as high here, but also fall twice as hard. Not careful enough.
That was so smart.
There we go. I'll be damned. And all still able to confirm with the hit.
That was a big bait on the crouch fierce. Doing that at that range, so you can't really do much. You're not really looking for a DP, so crouch fierce would be good. Caught him on the recovery. Perfect parry, incoming sweep, meaty fireball setup, the teleport, again, from the back door. Trying to go for the throw, but dive kick. Goes towards the corner, the OD fireball, and the knockdown.
Plenty of fireballs to follow at that limb extender into the yoga flow, but down slash to at least get confirm off of here into the super conversion.
No yoga. Man's gonna turn up the fifth gear out here. It's gonna be a big lead.
Also gonna need gear 6 to get out of this predicament. Only a negative shred of health and very little meter to even work with in the first place. Tried to sandblast, but even then with the float dive, Davey will take one up.
The rubber man himself. Davey is looking so confident right now. Driver's crouch fierce does work out this time. Even though it didn't work previously, you have to go for it because you don't really have any other options to kind of meet that character up in the skies. DI! This actually puts Quad burnout. Side switches up in the corner. This, again, Sim can be a Baron burnout. Immediate splat. I'm surprised he didn't wait for a little bit, go for a chip scenario, and then go for the DI. But you get some damage here. Sweep, teleport, fake out, loop-de-loop throw.
Back throw at that one, just keep you in the corner. And for Quad, really just has to force the pressure off the rush and even get out in the first place. I say that though, immediate, just the counter to grab it. That one back in the corner with the wall crush. Another throw to end it.
Again, you look at how players are playing, if they're reacting to things, and if they are not reacting, keep doing it. Honestly, keep doing it.
Exactly. Do it once, do it twice, 3 times. You want to make it 4, 5, 6. Instead, no combo involved, but instead, we have the yoga teleport again off the fire. Limb extender goes in for the slide, but instead has to jab it out off the light hits from Qua.
He punches the opener. Again, the 6 frame. Very quick button leads to so much for the character. Rising upper. This might be a downer. This man's got the damage behind him. The crouching medium punch. Could be able to send us out with a level 2, I would assume, maybe level 1. Don't need level 3, I don't think. Yeah, level 2. Make sure the job's done. I get it.
Exactly. Don't even have to play a favorite game of Will It Kill. That's guaranteed with or without meter. For Quad, tie things up here. Getting scary though. Davey's still at 2-0.
Yeah, stay up that set point, but for how long? Got to be able to apply that grounded game. You'll take that trade, whatever it takes to keep him hands and feet on the ground. Crouching medium punch is it with the fireball as he tries to walk back, try to kill some of that drive gauge. No perfect parry. Maybe going to get in there.
Fireball in the slide in, but instead had to go for that jump kick in from Quad, but not going to work out, especially off the float here, and still going to beat you through with the super.
I wonder if he could have DI'd back after that, but Davey just committed. Unfortunate. Level 3. This is a big lead here for Davey. He can chunk a drive gauge away. For Sim, again, he doesn't have to initiate. See that little break right there trying to bait out an ODP or any sort of button so he can whip punish right after? This is Davey's wheelhouse. This is how he wins. The teleport! The Houdini can't even see me. One more sequence.
I would say, John Cena style, you can't even see me up in this piece. Fine, listen, you can't hit the music like this, especially everyone watching. Save that for another day.
Confirmed! The crouching medium punch was clutch at that distance. Confirms himself a big win. Davey with the long fist. Mr. Fantastic. Fist made out of plastic. That is Davey on the sim. This dog was talking about how, yeah, man, I've been playing sim. I got a Blanca, but the sim's for me. Everybody's like, yo, switch character. Even I said that.
No, don't switch
but
characters.
don't switch.
Here, David, you hear us. Do not switch. Yeah, I see you. Don't some respect. You love to see it.
Ooh, Davey was on one. And honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like, if you're playing sim, you got all these setups and things like that. He had some frame kills, meaty slides right after. It had some knockdowns where he would go for like a fireball right after, and Qual kind of walked into it. There's so many things you have to think about. We're gonna get the interview. I cannot wait to hear Davey just smack talk as he usually does. Let's send it over to the set.
Thank you so much, guys. I am here with Davey from UTA, a very beautiful performance. So Davey, first and foremost, to my knowledge, you're the only Dawson player we have this weekend. How much benefit do you think that gives you going into a bracket like this?
I hate to admit it, but like the character is very rare, so no one really knows the matchup. But I'm not saying I'm carried by that, but it certainly helps.
Absolutely. So going in, like you mentioned, there's not a lot of people at home practicing their Dulsum matchups. What does a warm-up for you look like? Because obviously you're going to run into players and characters that are much more meta than yours.
I keep it simple. It's just a ranked grind. That's all it is.
Absolutely. So going into the rest of this weekend, Davey, how are we feeling? You've played on the main stage. It was warmed up. It felt great. How are you feeling for the rest of what's to come?
Yeah, this is my fourth and final year at CCC. We've fallen short every single year, but I think this is it.
This is it. You guys looking good here in Street Fighter. Your team looking great in Smash Ultimate as well. UTA having a great year at the CECC so far. Let's give a round of applause to Davey here for a great victory. Thank you so much, Davey. And without further ado, folks, I think it's already time to take a look at our next match.
Welcome to our next match in Street Fighter 6 here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2025. Our next matchup features the number 9 seed and the number 5 seed. Let's introduce our players, starting with the number 9 seed from Carthage College, Luke SFH. And the opponent, the number 5 seed from St. Louis Community College, D-Knock.
About the two of you that I think is really fascinating. So of course you guys are the first players for your school to show up for Street Fighter because it's the first year we've had Street Fighter. But you guys are both the first to show up for your school, period, here in the CECC. You're both setting history simply by being here, simply by qualifying for this event. You've made history for your school. How does that feel?
It's really cool because I actually watched this last year, like keeping up with everything, and being able to be here this year is pretty dang cool.
Absolutely. D-Knock, how does it feel for you?
It feels great to represent the esports team for my school. So.
Absolutely, and coming into this, we've been so generous that Capcom has been so excited and so grateful to help this all happen. What is an opportunity like this going to do for you outside of just getting to even be here at this event?
No, it's really cool. It's also a big motivation to kind of keep pushing and get better to get back here next year, hopefully.
Absolutely. D-Knock, how about you? How do you feel about just the opportunity to do this, and what could it mean for you to win something like this?
It would mean a lot. It would prove my path to get here. So it's gonna be great if I could win.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, let me see that handshake, and everybody, let's wish them luck as they jump in to our third Street Fighter series of the night.
Hey, what's up, people? We're back with more Street Fighter 6 action. They dapped it up. Now it's time to see what damage is on the deck again. St. Cola, Ash, if you forgot, we got you on that. We'll take you through all the hits. Here's the thing. Luke, SFH, bro. Here's the thing. How your name Luke and you not playing Luke?
Don't question it. Don't you dare question this.
No, it's a mix. It's a mix because he plays JP.
Exactly.
See, that's why. I understand your game.
You have to catch them off guard. Like, my name doesn't even apply. I play Zangief or even Blanca. People aren't going to know, though.
What do you think I would play based on my name?
I don't know why, but it's giving Guile. I can't explain it. Yeah.
I did play Guile for a little bit in 5, but
yeah, you look like you play Guile. Yeah.
You know, I did also play JP when he was in season 1. Everyone had a JP in season 1. That character was correct. It was a really good character. You know, his normals were hard to whip punish. His damage out of like reversal amnesia was like 60%, 50%, something like that at minimum. He was really good. Then he got nerfed. And a lot of people kind of led him into the garbage bin. But Luke stayed with that character. Now they've buffed him in terms of his anti-airs. He's got damage off a forward heavy kick. He is maybe not as strong as he was in season 1. He's a very strong character. He's a $1 billion character, so obviously he is still really good. But D-Knock is also on the Kin, though. And I think that Kin and JP in terms of that matchup got better for Kin. Now he can fight JP's normals.
And that's going to be an interesting one at that one. We saw Luke SFH just a little earlier, especially coming in with the JP against the Kimberly matchup, but we have yet really to see D-Knock through this day, especially on the big stage here. Seen plenty, especially in Collegiate. Street Fighter, especially, if I remember correctly, that one meal was no joke. That was a slaughterhouse, but you know who did survive that?
Now, D-Knock came out of nowhere.
True.
During one of the Monday tournaments that we were having on the Capcom Fighters and Esports U and CFGC stuff, in terms of like the restreams, we saw D-Knock just randomly appear. Like, who is this cat?
Just
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's D-Knock. You feel me? This cat, even though he came out of nowhere, definitely just put a thunderstorm through the competition. His Kin is a mix of wild and mild, and also at the same time, very, very stable, very solid in terms of like fundamentals of footsies, which is hard because usually most Kins kind of mire in one area. They kind of are just one singular area. He's got a good mix of the fundamentals and when to get aggressive.
Yeah, especially going into our button check. You're just getting everything tested. That's totally fine. But then the one thing you really have to worry about when it comes to, you know, Luke SFH and the JP gameplay can get finicky to a point. It's like, okay, I'm expecting the amnesia. What do you mean you're not using that and you're actually just going to slam me? Departure's going to go down and I'm going to feel the OD stalagmites. What?
You know, you bring up a good point about amnesia. That's a big thing for Luke to use on reversals. Use that probably more than the other JP players. But as Ken, you have meaty fireballs that you can do against the amnesia to stop that from happening. So it might make Luke rethink what he does on Wake Up even more so. If that's the tenet of your game plan on defense, you have to really rethink what you're doing. But either way, we're going to get the mashup right now. Ken versus JP was a lot in Season 1. What's looking a little bit different nowadays. JP, really more of a zoner, leaning into that sort of style. And Ken, well, you know what? He's still Ken.
I mean, especially going into Collegiate, it is a very different game, a wilder animal, if you will. And already D-Knock got the Tatsu Ender back up against the wall.
Nice. Counter hit Jack, nice and meaty. This is where Ken makes his money, you know. A lot of things. You got meaty fireballs as well. The Gen Rise too as well that could eliminate a lot of the drive rush or drive gauge, should say. Back throw.
There we go. That's that amnesia we were talking about a little earlier, especially off the crystals, and that one 2-stack of Departure already up, back against the wall for that stun guarantee.
That was very smart because like he was already blocking, so like why not go for that DI? Stand light kick will get the hit though. It's gonna be it. It's gonna be a D-Knock. But not keep the door of many players. And you know, like the Grim Reaper meme where he knocks on the door and picks up, looking to claim another person.
It's like, hey, your pizza's here. That's not pizza.
That's not pizza.
I didn't order pepperoni. I don't even like that in the first place.
You close your eyes and you're at the pearly gates.
Exactly.
Perfect pairing. Are you kidding me?
No, we're already getting started with the shenanigans.
Crouching medium kick, and he recovered a perfect parry. The DI. How ready can you be, D-Knock?
Oh my God. Reactionary reactions you love to see, but at the same time got the demons to deal with, especially that Psycho Power, the OD crush into it. Now Departure already up just in case. Crystal would have gotten D-Knock, but instead going into the super.
Now like this, kill the drive gauge as much as possible. You can be fireball, walk up, stand fierce, heavy kick, whatever you want at this point, especially because he has no OD amnesia. He has real amnesia. He's level 1. He's going to hold back a little bit. Jinrai could open him up continuously. There's the normal amnesia. Only one though. Blocks it out, stand fierce, fakes out fireball. Ooh, nothing doing DI. Now it's my turn to let that fly.
And good with the punish at that one. There we go. OD Tatsu right into Ender.
That was fantastic. Again, he knows what to do with the kid up in the corner. Frame kills are fantastic. Keeps things nice and meaty. And squares himself up with a big enough lead where he can go for the drive rush conversion right after the knockdown. Mans didn't have no bar to fight back with. You're scared of that meaty fireball. You're scared of getting hit with that meaty fireball. So even more so, you can't go for that amnesia play.
I think there's a lot you really just can't go for, but put yourself in Luke SFH's shoes. I mean, Luke just going for the crystal play at that one. Tried the slide, but instead, perfect parry. That light loop you love to see. Tatsu again back into the corner. Just try to pack it on further, but still able to break out only just a little bit off the cane.
Yeah, he's been able to bar it ever so often. Luke has crouching light punch, the 4-frame, in between some of these strings in the fireball that D-Knock's going for, but it hasn't let it too much just yet. Teleport on out of there. You saw the cane spin. That's how you know he's going to teleport. When he spins the cane,
Perfect parry. Go for the side switch. Meterless, because Ken can do that. DP? Yes, sir.
So I got DP under at that one. And for Luke, though, only able to break out of it. That might love to see. Yodi departure into the crystals at that one. Go for the rush. Wall bounce a little bit with the demons.
Without pairs. Teleport throw. Yeah, caught him tap and parry when he shouldn't. The timing just wasn't there. Luke with the lockdown. That's what you have to do with JP. What's really good about this character is the departure, how it locks you down, how it lets JP kind of advance where he'd like to. That's where the character strength really, really lies.
Especially for D-Knock, you have to sit there, kind of calculate, okay, are we going for the departure teleport? Am I have to gonna worry about throw? In this situation, you very much will, especially Stalagmites coming out in full force. Have no choice but to put up the block game. Don't use the meter that much. It gets scary, especially trying to parry, but already with the teleport, jump in, heavy kick coming into it from Luke into the converted super.
Level 3 is perfect here. You go for the OD Amnesia, I'm sorry, OD Departure actually, to really lock them down, and she does. Yeah, see, like what can you do? It's full screen now. Push them away, long distance relationship.
Oh, especially after burnout coming in from interdiction. That is one of the nastiest level 3 supers you have to have on board. But at the same time, there we go. Jump in, goes for the rush after the fact. The low ghost at that. D-Knock still able to build back meter. Can't say the same for Luke right now. Immediate burnout. Interesting choice though.
Yeah, I don't know why he went for the DI right there. Maybe looking for a fireball possibly. That could have been the reasoning. He does have the lead. He'll find the finish either way. That's a dangerous proposition to go into burnout like that, especially when Ken lands one conversion into the corner. See, Tots will take you there, or any sort of hit will take you there. Regardless, Luke, stay solid. Is a wall. Even games right now. Game to game at this point.
Oh, we're trying to stand roundhouse just a little bit earlier, but for D-Knock, no dice, no cigar, anything.
Man, imagine if you put a fireball and would have caught it. It would have worked. That was hey, that was a season 1 for me. That was a St. Cola right there. I used to call that St. Cola. Drive rush and DI. Luke takes after me. You know, he learns some stuff.
Yeah, okay. Let's calm it down now. We get you have a bit of an ego, but we gotta keep that down for Collegiate. That's fine.
Oh, he dropped the combo. He had the crouching combo, but was able to get the conversion full. Could have been a corner carry enhanced Tatsu type beat.
Man, departure type beat at that one, able to jump over to the crystals, but still closing the gap. Luke SFH, and I don't want to say vulnerable position, but when it comes to JP, you do not want Ken in your face in any way, shape, or form, but still able to at least keep it further.
Yeah, as much as possible, because at some of these ranges, Ken can drive our same Pierce. The anti-air is there with the forward heavy kick, though. Pierce didn't get the pickup with the down forward heavy punch. We'll clean things up with the sweep. Up around right now is Luke.
All right. Around so far here for Luke. SFH possibility to take that momentum to 2-1, but the Amnesia momentum just right into the burst hits. Departure already up on board, but still not going to go for the teleport. The crystal option getting pierced.
Yeah, I do like the DP right there. Attempt at least, but just like timing system there. Save him. Driver's jab, too far out for the medium to hit right after. Saying like it, excuse me. Almost got the whip punish. Careful with these buttons. They do have a hurt box now.
Especially trying to put in check, crouching medium kick, at least get some shred of damage. Just pushing the stand heavy, but getting scary with it. That drive rush still can make an impact from D-Knock.
Drive reversal. That burns out Luke. You might have to go for a stand pierce and activation. Ooh, blocked it out. Didn't go for a button. Smart guy.
Maybe try to go for that air-to-air action just a little bit earlier instead. Try focus more on the throws.
They like the DI. Gets the splat. Tricky stuff right there. D-Knock knocking on the door. Should be able to send him off the Shupu Jinrai.
Get flashy fit. Play my cinematic, says D-Knock.
Level 2. Let's fit the level 3. Most people don't want to fit the level 3 right there, but he well calculated the combo. Save some bar for the rainy day. Game to game, round to round right now. Let's see what's going down.
Considering Arlington outside, I imagine it is very much a rainy day. Those thunderstorms are no joke. Let me tell you, was not expecting it flying in nor being here, but that's either way. Spark focusing back on the match at hand. Crystal's back up. The OD Stalagmites.
You'll enjoy this. Drive reversal to last bit of bar. No, he tries to tap parry. He does block this out at the very least, but the push is there. Level 1 side switch. ED Fireball, not as meaty anymore, so that's why you see the OD Fireball right there from Luke. He's willing to put himself in burnout because this is his game to win from this distance. It's chip, no dip continuously. I mean, D-Knock's back with bar, but can he get in? Drive rush? No, it's air-to-air.
Do go for that air-to-air punish at that. The counter hit throw into the corner. Luke SFH, one throw, we got 2 throw. Maybe make it a third. No, instead OD Fireball, but instead crouch light punch. That's enough for Luke SFH to jab the pressure out.
That OD Fireball, again, is a difficult thing already with burnout. Can't go for amnesia. That's why we see that so often in this matchup. I like that D-Knock stop putting us on the deck. Your defense might be tested. Perfect parry gets this Crystal Slash.
Into the departure teleport at that one too. Low ghost to worry about. Right kick.
Wow, the OD to hit. Whipping the distance.
say playing it safe here, but it could get scary.
He tried to go for command grab there. I think he went for
Possibly
embrace.
so, whiffed on it.
We saw that recently. He did go for the embrace previously, so
Yeah.
trying to make something a little bit tricky, trying to call out a parry. OD Amnesia does give us some distance. He gets a heavy kick. Maybe think it was a throw. Caught him teching, the throw not connected. Drive rush, stay Pierce.
Had the Departure set up and everything, but instead DP to hit Amnesia as well. The back throw corner swap.
Oh no, the stand Pierce must have the pickup here for Luke. That's instead D-Knock hitting that crouching medium punch, gets the push that he needs to stave off set point.
Drive rush, just that heavy, but instead opting in for the throw.
Tick throw. Oh, Sand Pierce from the light. Too far out. You saw him jab it twice. He's like, wait a minute.
Here we go, third throw. On board here. Not sure you can that DP action.
What? I don't know what that was, but caught him on the recovery of the landing frames. Bringing the heat.
Man, it's getting spicy in here, and I can tell you right now, Scoville levels into the millions for D-Knock, but still not enough to guarantee the kill here against Luke.
It's a stand Fierce right after the plus frames with 2 insane off that jab, and we're all even. Game to game. Both players. It's the final game. D-Knock and Luke going the distance.
All right, 2-2 so far. I mean, it's one of the rare games that we've had so far that has really on main stage, not saying it made an impact, but really gone as far as it has.
True, actually. Going the distance. That victory. Perfect breaks the amateur. Caught him ducking, so get the extended damage right there. A little bit more of a combo conversion. Enhanced Tatsu. Max amount of corner carry. Finds the stand light punch, gets the drive rush right after. Departure's out. The teleport doesn't get a punish, but this is fine. This is made. Oh, actually, this is perfect. Look at that. Full screen. Bye-bye.
Even with the burnout, bounce back up against the wall, setting up possibly even the Departure. No crystals. Instead, spam that out. That's totally fine. Off stalagmites, but we do have the teleport side swap instead. Not a problem for D-Knock, though, with the air Tatsu. OD at that.
Jump in right here. Jinrai. Sure you can. Meaty. OD Fireball. Amnesia.
There we go.
Okay, should be able to get the side switch. And he doesn't go for it. I'm surprised he didn't go for the jump over, but that's fine. He does have portable. He spins out the level 2. There's some recovery. There's some startup. And that's the punish. The level 2. You can't do that no more. They done nerfed it. There's too much startup on that level 2. The reactions with Shifu Jinrai will let D-Knock be in set point.
Already D-Knock on set point. I imagine whoever's knocking at your door guaranteed the Ken. But for Luke, I imagine I want to have that happen. Looking through, it's like, listen, I understand trying to serve me pizza. Not gonna be for me in the first place. Off the ghost at that. We got the crystals, possibly set up for Departure again.
Parry. Able to hit Stand Pierce to fake out with the ghost. Yeah, that fake out ghost, making him tap parry. Now he holds that throw, getting punish counter instead. Stand Pierce fake out again. Look at that, deleting the drive gauge as he holds parry. Careful with that Jinrai. Could have caught the recovery. That one does hit though.
Sitting there menacingly, even through the fireball. Not OD enough, and for Luke, possibility to really just set this 1-1. But right now, getting a little too scary, close for comfort. Crystal's back from up top with the rush. That's gonna be enough. One touch now. Both on set point.
That's right, final game, final round. Walk back, gain some space in this place. You're a zoner now. Oh, the overhead, the heavy kick, both outside the distance. OD Fireball sets up for the Departure. Just to lock him down.
Going pitter patter here. At the fireball to hit. Crystal's back up top though. Tries for that ghost instead. Where there's one rush, there is another, but one has a throw. And now Luke in a prime zoning keep out.
Careful the Pierce. See, again, he's holding parry so much. He's so afraid. It's hard to find the time, especially the OD. Toe tap. He didn't get the follow right after that. He hit the punish counter. That could have been more. Could have been more of the air.
No, one thing I would like to say here is that both players really making an effort not to just go for burnout, but the meter usage has been insane. And now it's time. I'm thinking interdiction.
Level 3, one more hit will seal it. Oh, Departure, nice and close. Nice and personal. Don't get touched. The Stand Fierce, fist to face, sends him out. It's Luke taking it over D-Knock. You gotta give a lot of good credit here to Luke to give that kind of space and kind of let D-Knock run into that instead of so much pressure that's hard to perfect parry, tap parry, any of that kind of stuff. Amazing play from Luke.
Man, insane play.
Why is he rolling his eyes? Bro, do you know what you just did to this cat? He couldn't even move. You can't roll your eyes like that.
Yeah, hold on. Let's calm him down now. He's smiling.
He's like, ooh.
Oh, goodness.
Let's see the other guy. Throw it over to the interview.
Oh, I mean, First and foremost, guys, closest series we've seen so far. Let's make some noise for that. What a series from Luke here. I mean, it was a close one, but a victory regardless. I can feel the tension. His heart rate is high, but Luke, I mean, it's a victory, man. How does it feel, and how did you stay calm in a series that ended that close? I mean, that came down to almost final hit.
After that third game, when I was down 2-1, I kind of had to sit there for a bit and just remember what I need to be doing, because I started playing and panicking, so.
Absolutely, just remembering the game, right? Remembering the character that you've played so much. And JP, being such a fascinating character compared to so many others, what did you do differently after that second game? What part of your play style did you shift to become successful?
Like a big thing is my defense was pretty rough in the corner against him, so I was just trying to do pretty much everything possible to stay out of the corner and keep him away.
Absolutely. Well, hey, big congrats, man. A victory on the main stage, nonetheless. One more round of applause for Luke here as he walks away a victor in his first matchup, excuse me. But folks, we've got one more Street Fighter matchup. So without further ado, let's find out who we're going to be seeing play.
Welcome to our next match in Street Fighter 6 here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2025. Our matchup features the number 12 seed and the number 8 seed. Let's introduce the players. First, the number 12 seed from Miami University, RG Prime. And the opponent, the number 8 seed from California State University, Long Beach, Abyssal.
Has that changed any way you've chosen to approach your matchup here?
Not at all. Just going to play my game and do my best and just show what JP can do.
Absolutely love it. How about over here? Has watching anybody else play changed what you plan on doing here?
Oh, I mean, I've seen some great play today, and you know, Hippo, some stuff from Bison. I'm definitely going to be taking some things there, and it's been great just watching all these great players play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, folks, I'm stoked to watch it. I hope you are as well. Gentlemen, let's see that handshake right here, center stage, and everybody wish them luck as they jump into our final Street Fighter matchup here tonight.
All right, we gotta lock it in. It's our final match of tonight for Street Fighter 6. Final. So that means we really gotta bring our A game, and players here for day one have to bring it even more so.
We got RG Optimus Prime out here. Better stay fine because we kind of saw him get cooked up previously. Might be a different story going up against Abyssal. Abyssal, yo, CFGC finals last year. Got to the finale with harms. It had to go because of an emergency.
Right.
So we saw good energy all the way through that bracket. Unfortunately, wasn't able to close it out because of that emergency. But now would like to make his W out here and get some of that prize pool and that beautiful trophy.
I mean, true. Honestly, when it comes to CFGC, CECC has been leading up all to this. And again, this is just day one. So far, we saw some of that last match. When it comes to intensity, was definition peak intensity. But hey, possibility might see in this one. Remember when I said we might be seeing more JP?
Yeah. Oh, there's another one right there.
Yes.
You know, listen, a lot of these players, you got to give them credit despite, you know, whatever you think about the characters, that they've been playing the character even in the worst times. JP was never bad. You know, people kind of left him to the side because, you know, he wasn't as powerful as he was in Season 1. But Season 2 at the beginning, he was still really good. They just took away a little bit too many more of the mindless things and made him more into the intention that he should be as a zoner. For Prime, he is playing Bison out here. So on paper in the matchup, this is one of JP's more hated matchups. It's not as bad as Cammy or Akuma, but the aerial approach is a pain in the butt to deal with. The grounded approach too as well, drive rush jab. He's got a long distance to be able to cut through the fireballs and miasma of the plasma. And also, OD Cycle Crusher, a really easy way to get in. Even if you fake out with the fireballs, you might get got still. So be on your P's and Q's right here. Abyssal, We'll see what happens.
About to say, that Psycho Crusher, we saw how earlier Hippo handled that almost a little too well here and there, especially paired with the guillotine drop just sprinkled in between.
The pockets.
Yeah, it was not pretty. That pocket sand. No, pocket bison.
I meant in the pockets as in taking the, taking the money from the pockets.
Exactly. And the jewels.
Rummaging. Oh, I like that. I like the hitbox.
Ooh, hey, I have the same one actually.
Oh, where?
That's
You
my
do?
same
That's
exact
yours?
model of hitbox.
How do we know that's not yours right now? You just
No, that's not
picked it
mine,
up.
but it's the same model, and it is nice.
Yeah, I like to see the difference in terms of how these players are playing the peripherals that they're using. Hitbox, normal controller, it's all applicable out here, right?
True.
In terms of what you want to use, people that are watching that are new to fighting games might be like, well, why are they using this and that? You know what I'm
Exactly. I mean, I knew someone who used a DJ Hero turnstile to play this game. It actually works.
saying?
Mapped it out and everything.
I've seen the dude with the wheel. There's a guy with the sword. You can play on whatever. Just if you're comfortable
The
with.
Leapfrog controller, I've seen that too.
Leapfrog one?
Yes.
Does it? It's like the baby one that has like the noises, like the moo cow and stuff like that. Okay. Well, again, whatever works for you is whatever works out here.
The cow goes moo. Heavy punch.
DI. The chicken goes.
Level 3 super art interdiction. Old McDonald had a farm.
Oh, that is definitely Old McDonald right there, the JP. Oh, that is a sick shot. This is about to be a sick match. JP versus Bison. Again, if you're a JP player, you probably played this character. You fought a lot of Bisons, especially during the introduction of that character. DLC when it dropped, everybody had a Bison. He's been weakened now a little bit, but still a very prominent character in many circuits. We'll see how he does out here. That's RG Prime on that one.
All right, already getting started, especially off the rush. No impact to be found just yet, especially off the low demon, but already in the jump in heavy kick. Not much of an impact here.
Not just yet. There's a throw. Careful the drive gauge. Pierce right after. You'll take the hit to not be in burnout, but you're taking a little bit too much more right now. Blocks it out, back medium. I like these strings right here. Yeah, they're aiming for the drive gauge to kill it as much as possible. Make him ash. DI.
Tried it earlier with the scissor kicks, but RG Prime not able to break out of the corner just as well. Suffers from it with the corner stun, but Abyssal already up by a perfect round so far.
Yeah. Good job, right? You can tell he's adapted the matchup. Knockdown, departure. But unfortunately, a little bit too much startup on that. Pierce got hit with the OD. The anti-air's there with the crouch Pierce. No pickup with the OD. Does it again. He's like, listen, if it works,
it
keep
works
doing
the second time,
But careful the drive gauge, so if it's back throw, it could be real bad here. But it's looking real good. My bad. Prime, I know your game was like
Make
that.
it a fourth one? Nah, we going for the double knee instead. Make that a single one, but that's totally fine, at least for Abyssal. We game with a crouch medium.
And then level 2. Probably jump over, I would imagine. Yeah, side switch, try to go for the instant overhead on the way out. Hold this throw. No damage, but the positional advantage is fine.
And no damage in the back throw, but we have double stacks departure to worry about, as well as the teleport into it. Not enough armor for Prime, but just enough for Abyssal.
Wait, Abyssal has another level 2? A double helping of the Ghastly Ghost? Get the pickup after this. Yeah, Crystal Slash, departure, and there was more. But wait, there is always more when it comes to JP in that corner combo.
Exactly. It is, I don't want to say insanity so far, but it's so dastardly to have happening to see happen. But RG Prime, right, aggressive Bison player, it was so funny, right, seeing him first play, and then somebody say, Prime did not pay to this game just to block. You want all offense with Bison, you got just that.
Yeah, gotta get aggressive. Like the jump ins every so often, the jump heavy punch. We saw that clip with Stan Fears, but now Prime's in the corner. That defense is gonna be tested. Raw side, I like that. Uncooked, full of flavor.
Hey,
Bro,
uncooked, not even seasoning. We don't even have anything on that.
You know, it's slide tartar.
Ugh, I don't know about tartar. That's not my thing here, but I imagine for RG Prime, the thing is the OD, especially going this far up against the wall. Goes for the throw. Abyssal. Keeps his own capabilities up here.
Amnesia, he misses completely. Throws the recovery. Got him. Prime pulling it back to the brink. And that's one of the things that you pointed out. Getting more active is definitely helping out. A lot more of these jumps as well. The OE crushers. Uh-oh. Pick up, though. How do you get in after this?
And especially against Prime, these jump-ins are going to be made a little more dangerous knowing that Abyssal, I mean, like most JP players, like to go for the departure, the stalagmites on top of it, and it puts you in a bad corner position. Hey, tried the teleport, though. Good read coming into it from Prime in the back throw.
Perfect parry in the punish right after. You go for any bar right here. Yeah, accept the departure again. The departure is more about like locking him down so we get the space. OD cuts through again. The piercings, any sort of fireballs and things like that. Back throw, that's enough to do it. And that is a closer walk towards game point here for Abyssal.
All right, so pick up a little bit here, especially in the side of RG Prime, but for Abyssal, I was about to say, almost kept his own capabilities upward here, end up at the OD, but instead Amnesia to hit right into the super.
So strike throw right there, side switch, of course, crouch fierce, departure, stand fierce, aiming for the drive gauge, attack on drive gauge right there. Drive rush, back medium, whips completely, but he's able to get the back throw and get departure, locking you down, and now you're in burnout.
Oh, try to missile again, but that's not gonna work out, a little too hot.
He pierce.
Again, off the pierce, but the OD gonna be enough in the ground, and Abyssal.
Abyssal is cooking the competition. Even though we saw OD Psycho Crusher be a thing, the times just haven't been there. We see some like jump backs here and there from Abyssal, finding ways around it. It's a game point for him. Trade. Commits to the stand medium, got blessed. But the drop of the combo, the nerves!
Oh, okay, I was about to say big stage, we got nerves abound, but that's fun. You just have to keep your mental up. Saying it's scary, but jump in heavy kick. Just found just yet on the side of Abyssal. Can't get a hit.
Backdash avoids the scissor kick. Driver's crouching. Medium kick is the opener. Fireball set up the departure, air to air, should get the pickup. Oh, he almost did that, would have been sick. I would have lost my mind.
Hey, would have been fire, would have been awesome, but that's an otherwise possibility. We have to see in an alternate universe still. Trying to set up for the departure instead, goes for the crystal instead. Didn't get pierced, but RG Prime, just prime and ready just for the parry. Uh-oh.
Yeah, parrying a little bit too much, didn't have the drive gauge to do so right after. Now, that's looking hella ashy, getting some aloe vera, please. Crouching medium punch. Oh, I think it's his block, even better.
Yep.
Parry took in the drive gauge as juiced up as possible. Abyssal is on set point. He resets with a command grab. Embrace me. This man, you ain't gonna do it to him like that. There are people watching in the crowd right now. There are people right now at home watching this.
Says Abyssal. We got it again. Okay, we got executives in the crowd. We got plenty of people just watching this menacingly as Abyssal is for RG Prime. Gotta lock it in. Goes in for the parry at that one. Try to stand heavy instead. Gets punished back up in the corner. Jump in.
That stand light punch was hella delayed after the plus frames in the level 3. Need him a bedtime story playoff tonight. This is Abyssal 3-0 in a match that's very difficult on paper, makes it look easy and breezy. Abyssal takes down RG Prime. And man, did he have some great setups, some lockdowns with the departure, some great reactions to as well, some of the things that were happening. Baria against like some of the plus frames. You saw the stand fierce, that's +1, right? So he's like, I'll wait a little bit and then play my jab right after it. After the plus frames kind of dissipated a little bit, so I'll play my button.
Exactly. I imagine for RG Prime, I mean, trying to go for that finish probably would have been another good Tuesday in this situation. Instead, it is a Friday. But for Abyssal out here, listen, maybe another Tuesday for you, but for me, it's another win.
It's another W. Moving on again, this is just for seeding, but it definitely matters to get that sense of what's going on with these players. And to see Abyssal be so strong, it just makes sense. We'll send it over to him for the interview.
All right, Abyssal, I mean, what a performance. Not only a 3-0, but a perfect KO at the end. I mean, you said a statement right before you jumped in. You said, I'm here to show what JP can do. Do you feel like you've proven it?
Absolutely. The character is super fun to play, and there's so many situations where you can show off some cool tech. And you know, just came here to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you found a great performance in the pools here on the main stage. Ever since I met you at the red carpet, I have not sensed an inch of nerves the entire time. You've been very cool, calm, and collected. How are you feeling? I mean, that's the most nervous you might get. Like, you played on stage, you crushed it. How are the nerves? Do they exist?
No, I've been playing offline for a while. Shout outs to the boys in SoCal and all my locals over there preparing me. And just a lot of people believing in me, family, girlfriend, you know, shout outs to them.
That's very sweet. So going into this, you know, I talked to Hippo about it a little bit as well. Playing offline and online, there's a little bit of difference in terms of input, response time, and that's just what the internet does. That's how it works. Have you felt any major shifts playing either positive or negative playing offline instead of that online traditionally?
It's a lot more emotional playing, like, you know, you're able to see the person instead of, you know, just a mindless face and a character. So it's good to put the face to the player, player to the character, you know, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, folks, let's give it up for Abyssal one more time here, our fourth and final Street Fighter champion. A great job. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a break. We've got a couple of awards in a few minutes here, and then Overwatch after that. Don't go anywhere. Plenty of CECC left.
Whoa, 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 Seb, you said break. I think you meant break down. We just had 4 massive Street Fighter 6 matchups. Let's go ahead and get into those, starting with the fact that UTA have been mopping up fighting games this weekend so far. On the main stage at the very least, 2-0 in Smash against Winthrop, and then 2 3-0s to start this one off. Hippo versus 23. Sai, talk me through some points on that one.
Okay, so I was really excited for this Hippo and 23 matchup just because Bison been a pretty well-known top tier since he's been added to the game. Kimberly kind of fighting her way back up, getting some new buffs that have helped her out, especially that heavy punch buff. It's really huge for her. But unfortunately, this matchup just did not go 23's way. I felt like 23 didn't parry very often. Hippo was just running all over the place with pressure. There were some pretty key openings that were dropped too with drive rush overhead from 23. Like, it would be a small breath and an opportunity for Kimberly to get some pressure going, get that heart knocked down, get that Oki, set up those cans, all those things. But unfortunately, 23 just kept dropping those openings with that overhead, and Hippo was just like, great, I'm just going to wake up, I'm going to counter poke, just keep the pressure going. Hippo responded properly to every DI, and 23 was really struggling in the corner because Kimberly does not have an invincible level 1 to get oh my god, sorry. Kimberly doesn't have a great reversal to get out the corner, and Bison is so scary in the corner as it is, even if you do have good options. So Hippo just took a little bit of momentum, and as soon as stage control was in Hippo's favor, it was just kind of curtains for 23. It was a really rough one.
Yeah, you mentioned stage control, but I want to talk about the stage in general, the literal stage these players are on. You know, UTA have so much stage experience. It feels like they have no nerves coming into it. And then we got a player like 23, a player coming from that HBCU qualifier, a player that doesn't play this level of offline events. Do we think that has anything to do with this matchup?
I really do. I mean, Davey said it himself. This is his 4th time on this stage in his college career. And let me count how many years are in a college career. He's been here every year. UTA has been on that stage every single year. And they're not just there because they're, you know, right next door. They're here because they earned their spot. Davey in particular with that 3-0, I mean, like you said, 2 3-0s was fantastic. I mean, his float control was amazing. Crow tipped me off to how important burnout was going to be and controlling the meter. I mean, they were not stingy with those bars, but they weren't running out as much as they could. But then it came to the stage control, the positioning, side switching from Davey. I mean, UTA, with their experience, with their preparation, and with just being so comfortable up there, they put on a show for us in the first half of that series.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, you brought it up, the Qual versus Davey set. It was very much, it did feel like, you know, Davey was just so comfortable. The nerves visible for both these, for Qual rather. It came down to a lot of interactions that were very uncharacteristic of him. He was not, you know, the anti-airs the inside. We were on the side like, hey, yo, he has really good checking anti-airs. Play off of that. Play off a lot of the Luke crouching poke. You still have that medium punch. I'm telling you, it still works, guys. I promise you. But it's just, it didn't seem like he had the exact timings down on when he needed to throw out the options. And Davey is kind of crazy when he gets in that go mode. Like, you've seen it when he is in Smash. You see it when he's here in Street Fighter. When he gets in that go mode, when he's comfortable, when he's ready, he's going to go at you every single time. And it worked. And like you said, 3-0. I did not expect it to be a 3-0. Like I said, I had Qual, you know, getting this one. Maybe all the distance. Maybe it went to a 3-2. But I was not expecting this.
Yeah, you mentioned go mode. Let's press the go button on some of these replays. And while we do, I want to keep touching on the rest of some of these matchups. So D-Knock and Luke, our closest matchup, the most exciting one to see, goes all the way to Game 5 in that last round. Miles, anything in particular that catches your eye in that matchup?
I mean, Luke SFH, Houdini in that corner. He was out of there constantly, and he had no right to be. D-Knock was putting so much pressure in the corner. I was expecting to see at least a few stuns, but no. Luke SFH always found a way to fight out with the supers, with the portals. I mean, Sai. Luke SFH, the way he utilized those portals to get in.
Yes, very, very smart portal play, and it's one of those things where, like, you can kind of live by the portal, you can die by it. Like, there was one scenario where I think he called a non-EX portal in the corner, got hard punished for it. Friends, if you're still confused about JP, that portal summon is like 50 frames. You have a lot of time to punish. Like, it is very common to call a portal full screen against Kin, and he will run cancel or drive rush forward and just punch you in the face because he does have the time to do that. But outside of that, I mean, this was our closest set. It was Game 5 last round. D-Knock was very, very aggressive. But I don't think D-Knock survived any of the interactions where we would see Luke wake up with amnesia. And if you can bait out amnesia, you get such a big punish. The JP has to spend 2 bars, and then he gets punish countered, and then the combo is going to take more meter. So it's a huge thing, but unfortunately, D-Knock was really, really aggressive, kind of was always pressing a button and didn't take advantage, and that was maybe one of a couple small things that gave Luke the win there.
One thing I do want to touch on that matchup really quickly, I mean, is the fact that D-Knock, we saw something. We talked about the JP level 2 and like how much we want him to abuse that more, use that more. The Kid level 2 coming out, D-Knock was like, that was the clutch factor in many of those rounds where it went down to the wire, literally last health, last pistol. He throws out the super, get that invulnerability frame in the beginning to make sure he's going to bypass that damage to make sure he gets that win. Because this multiple times over went to a situation where Luke was potentially just going to sweep through it at that last moment. But D-Knock was just, you know, like you said, all gas, no brakes, pure aggression, made it work.
You know, let's keep talking JP. Our reel plays out, and we'll play into what was our last matchup, Abyssal and RG Prime. Anything that's catching your eye there, Sai?
Oh, me? Oh, absolutely. I literally said to you out loud, I said, okay, if Abyssal wins this against Bison, I will learn how to do it. Because that matchup is so awful. But Abyssal was just honestly just outplaying RG Prime in a lot of really key areas. Abyssal had very optimized routes, not just for damage, but also for meter stealing as well. Like, I know that drive meter management is really important, but we're starting to get to the point where people are optimizing their combos to take more meter, and then even starting to push it further and start getting into burnout strings and chip out strings like that. So there's a lot that I saw Abyssal really shining with there, especially his micro spacing was really, really strong. Where RG Prime could have improved a little bit for me, Abyssal had really good micro spacing, but RG Prime wasn't counter poking. Bison crouch medium punch is so crazy. Bison has access to so many great poking tools, especially when mixing in those pressure, you know, throwing those scissor kicks out and kind of trying to baiting you into a button and seeing what you're going to do. And a lot of that pressure was just kind of offline. I feel like if you play Bison at max range, you can really force JP to just struggle and try to fight back with exclusively stand heavy punch and crouch medium punch. But because RG Prime was just always in his face, he was getting counter poked by those crouch jabs and those crouch light kicks, and that's where Abyssal would take his turn back. There were multiple times RG Prime could have taken the round, but because he wasn't ready for Abyssal to counter poke, he ended up losing his corner position, and Abyssal won that 3-0.
Yeah, that is something I noticed as well. I mean, RG Prime had a lot of good ideas, but like you said, in the end, wasn't utilizing the counter poke correctly. Because more often than not, we talk about the Bison and JP matchups. Like, oh yeah, you're playing Bison, free real estate, got it.
That was not really the case here. Yeah, I mean, are you saying Abyssal isn't our top seeded player? Like, that's crazy. That's a losing matchup.
I would have thought. I mean, yeah, Abyssal came out here. He's here to play like, yeah, ooh, he's 8 seed through Valve. Forget that. Throw the notes out the window. We're done.
Right.
I mean, look, I'm so excited to see so much more of it. Like I said, it's only group stage, so that knockout stage to go as well.
Yeah, we got some hot sets coming up.
Oh my God.
We got some hot sets coming up, without a doubt. And that brings me to a key point here. The CECC is brought to you by Lava Lamp. That's right, Lava Lamp. The iconic motion lamp with a groovy glow and mesmerizing flow. Illuminate your game with lava. Lava on the desk and you in the zone. Endless styles and colors to choose from. To find your Lava Lamp vibe, go to lavalamp.com. And with that, we'll throw to a short break. We'll be back with more Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup action in just a couple minutes.